Alright, welcome back to Dark Souls 2 Randomized. Time for more fun. That's what I'll call it. Yeah, fun. Hopefully all the randomizer settings are good this time. I have bonfire settings. I could run back and try to just grab the stuff from the roof. How many do I have? I need to be strategic about this. I mean, for all I know, I could just get the soul of the New Game Plus Soul of the Rotten and be able to make the... Well, no, I need to find Horn Effects first, but I could potentially get my usual sword earlier than expected. Yeah, you know what? Why not? I'll show you what a bonfire ascetic does. Basically, it allows you to turn an area that you've completed into a New Game Plus area. Basically, that one, from one bonfire to sort of its surrounding area, will be considered New Game Plus for the purposes of item drops, difficulty, bosses. So let's see. And that will reset, obviously, the items, because it's almost like you're doing a completely new run. Okay. Let's, burn a bonfire ascetic. Oh, I have some bone dust. Cannot burn in this bonfire. Do I need the Majula one, possibly? This one I can burn. Yeah, in Majula I can burn the... I completely forgot to do that. Sublime Bone Dust, which basically, yep, what is done cannot be undone. Basically saying, okay, if you're screwed and you find yourself in way too hard a version of this area, tough. There's no going back. You can't turn it back into regular. Oh, there's red phantoms everywhere. Golden Wing Shield. Bone Fist! Another Bone Fist. Wait, did I already have the Bone Fist? Hi, guys. Don't mind me. Oh, God. Yep, this is New Game Plus, alright. I'm gonna die. That's fine. This is what New Game Plus is like. You know what? I got something from that, and I feel like that's fine. Well, we're just gonna go. Yeah, I think the Bone Fist is technically a, if I remember correctly, it is a, and now we have two of them. It's a DLC weapon. I think you can only find it in, the Ivory King area. What else did I got? I got shield. The golden something shield. Golden Wing Shield. Blue shield with gold relief of wings, likely a symbol of guardianship. Okay, so that's that's the shield of the guy I killed for like nothing. Blossom Kite Shield. That's right. That's a stamina recovery. When did I get this? Shield of the Knights who long ago attempted to conquer the Undead Crypt. Oh, we'll be getting there. They bore no weapons, only a shield split into left and right halves, which they used to playfully crush their foes until their corpses were kneaded beyond recognition. The engraving depicts two messengers of the hereafter who welcomed the recently dead by reviewing the merits of their deeds in life. So, kind of a typical sort of undead, not undead, but, you know, like a Judgment of the Dead kind of thing. But, obviously I'm not strong enough, but you can kind of, let's, no, not you. Okay, well, I didn't need to do that. But yeah, so you can see kind of there's these little notches here where it fits into the other shield. So we got one of the two. And yeah, we'll be visiting the Undead Crypt. We'll be doing that. But if you have both equipped, you can just kind of link them together in front of you and just become a wall. There, we don't need that anymore. These, yeah, they're fine. Let's get the hell out of here. So I believe we're going to go, yeah, we're going to go tower apart. Wait, no, is that that might be the wrong one. Whichever one, I think we want to go into the cells, because that's basically where we're going around the back way. Yeah, this is the other way. We want to go to the exile holding cells. So last time, by getting to the Undead Wharf, we could start to see kind of how everything's connected in these first few areas, and as far as how the machinations of this civilization were working. The Undead Wharf was a port hub. The Lost Bastille is where they were throwing the undead. As soon as anyone was marked by the curse, they just threw you in there, because out of sight, out of mind. So they'd be bringing them through the wharf, called the ship in, the ship would come in, almost like a plague ship. You just throw the plague down there and drive them off. Then they'd come in and dump them. That's obviously been completely overrun. The undead are well outside the Bastille at this point. So, yeah, order has started to break down. No one knows where the king is. Things have basically spilled out. And we hear of other lands. We hear of places like Mira, where Lucatil is from. That seems to not have been overrun yet. There's other places where the people say, I'm from this place, and here's my description of this place. And they don't describe it being overrun by undead. So there are other lands outside of Drang Lake where they haven't been overtaken yet. They can still ship people over here. Probably via the ships that come into No Man's Wharf. Put your shield on, idiot. I could snipe this little asshole. And I think I'm going to. Oh, could have two-handed it. My usual trick in this and in Neo is actually to use the mouse to aim once I'm in. This is way too sensitive. You know what? Let's do that. I'm not gonna. Once I get better arrows, we'll be able to do that more efficiently. Okay. Yeah, there's some things I kind of want to do first here. Oh, you're not movable, damn it. Alright. I could make this a little easier on myself a couple of ways. First of all, get rid of you. Next, do this. Okay, next, do this. Does that need to be fire? That might need to be fire. Maybe use fireball. Thank you. Careful you don't fall off. Okay, he's not going to aim. Oh, there we go. It's not really going to work. Oh, perfect. Okay, well, this is fine. That's why I chose that spot. That is specifically why I chose that spot. So if I fell off, I would land on here. Yeah, we gotta do some things to clear this place out because there are reasons. You'll find out in a moment. The dogs, we just gotta. That's the main problem here. There we go. I think there's at least one more. Is there not? Is that it? Nope, here he is. Okay, and that's the reason why. He's back. No, this is fine. Deal with the dog, deal with the dog. Keep your eye on him. Good. Thank you. He was very polite of you. Taking me a little time. Thanks. Come on, do your big three. Damn it. Okay. So there's a couple more guys I gotta take care of. I'm trying to think of the easiest way to get this done. Oh, you know what? I have an easy way to do this. I might. If not, I can buy one. Buy away my troubles. Money solves everything. Because I have to remember I have fire bombs. That'll get those barrels exploded. See, there's a couple things we can do here. First things first, let's start sniping. Can I snipe this guy from over here? Ah, damn it. Is the guy down here? Is this where the sniper is? Just don't even let him reload. How many arrows do we have? 9? That's fine. We're doing fine. Where's the other asshole? Someone else was shooting at me over here. Is he over there? Well, you know, let's clear these guys out first. And let me grab fire bombs. Nope. There we go. Okay. Not quite what I'm looking for. Well, to be fair, this does give me a better way to snipe now. Except the, yeah, notice how that hit nothing? Yeah, that's Dark Souls hitboxes for you. Well, this is a problem. Well, oh, I can get him. There we go. Let me see if I can get anybody from this side. Yeah, there's no one here. I don't know where the sniper came from. Oh, I missed this. Bellkeeper helmet and life ring +1? Okay. Maybe. Where is it? Life ring +1. It'll be better. That regenerating health. Yeah, God. And you see how they have very reduced frame rates after they get out at a certain point. Damn it. Do I have any arrows left? Oh, I have fire arrows. Well, that's certainly convenient. That didn't do anything. Cool. Oh, it's this guy. That's where you were, you little scamp. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. There we go. Little tricksy son of a bitch. There we go. Now we can fight him unabated. Get the souls first. Or not, because there's this asshole. There we go. Now we have a completely regular fight. Just you and me. Just you and me and pressing the wrong button, and there's another dog. There's 2 dogs. I've forgotten some things about this room. But I have plenty of arrows. That's a good thing. So we can definitely clear this out. So first things first, get rid of him. So what I'm probably gonna do is make a mad dash through. I don't necessarily. Well, except he could be carrying anything. Normally I would say who cares, it's just the pursuer. And also I would say, well, I definitely need to get through this room because of ow. But really, there's not necessarily a huge reason to go through this, because I don't think usually there's either a hold on. There we go. Usually there's either a Sublime Bone Dust or an Estus Flask Shard in a chest down there. But of course, I don't know that that's actually going to be a case, because I don't know that shard's still going to be there. It probably won't. Can I snipe this little bastard? But without committing down there? Not yet. Okay, well. Can I maybe trigger these guys without hitting? Can't really hit. Oh, I can. I can totally hit him from there. Perfect. Perfect. So my thought is, well, first of all, get rid of him. And that's it for my... Can you please keep fireball on? Thank you. Yes, get a little further away so I can hit you. Okay, I think we're good. If I can keep him, especially if I can keep him around here, we'll just get rid of this problem right away. I will say, the previous session went obviously remarkably better than the first session. Having a weapon helped, and specifically, I would say this area, this way going through the Lost Bastille is kind of annoying. It's a bit of a pain. But I would also say the No Man Wharfs was a pain. A bigger pain than this, usually. And we just smoked that area. Now it helps that I have a DLC weapon, and I got so much friggin' Petrified Dragon Bone that I was able to upgrade the crap out of it. Ring of Blades +2! Sorry. Hope I didn't redline the mic there. Okay, we have the ultimate Ring of Blades, the best Ring of Blades in the game. Because I'm pretty sure they never added a +3. But, so yeah, we have the most possible attack up ring in the game. Awesome. Alright, so let's get all the items in this general area. Yeah, the Ring of Blades +2. Well, that's cool. Wait, isn't there supposed to be a chest back here? Or am I thinking the original and not Scholar? I might be. Oh, there it is. And over there, another Black Knight Ultra Greatsword. A Dark Stone. I could make something dark enchanted. Over there is the bonfire for Macduff's workshop. And in fact, if we go over here, we can see we have now opened up a shortcut to there. So basically, regardless of which way you go through, if you go in the back way, you can basically, if you come in the front way, you can still get to the back way, you just can't go all the way to that back room where the bonfire is when I first came from the Hawk. But I was just like just running, getting the Ruin Sentinels early. Dark Clutch Ring, okay. Is there anything in here? Just double check. Nope. There's a couple of things we can get in here. Again, I have no idea what the heck they could be. And, yep, I love kamikaze enemies. Don't I just love kamikaze enemies? I say it all the time, they're my favorite kind of enemy. Just make an enemy that's completely bullshit. And just regardless of your skill, it will just run at you and explode. Because, you know, again, that's super fair. At least give me a one-on-one fight. Then if you beat me, I feel like, at least I tried. If you just explode in my face with like the, you didn't win, like, no, screw that. The antiquated key. Opens up that. Oh, dogs. Hi, it's me. Here I am. Uncle Mo, thank you, ma'am. This'll be a treat. Uncle Mo, while you eat. Please take the flask off my head, kid. The Estus is very hot. Black Firearm, Soul of a Hero, Leggings of Horus, great. Oh, we got the Leggings of Horus. Did I not? Oh. This is Leggings of the King of the Desert Land of Jugo. First worn by Horus, the land's heroic founder. According to legend, the armor of Horus is composed of a mysterious substance that cannot be seen by cowards. What do your eyes tell you? Well, I can see it. I'm not quite sure how that works, like, because I know they can go, they can be invisible as well. And like certain I'm not sure exactly how that works, like what, if that's like tied to an invisible stat or if it's just random. Yeah, we're gonna put the Sanctumite back on. Gonna go Dees away. And Dees away. Do I have any... Oh, shoot, hold up. Does I have... I have plenty of Ferrous Lockstones, good. Because there's a couple coming up in the area that I might want. That room. But we'll clear this up first. Hey, you having some trouble there? Trouble there, buddy? But you can see how this would be a problem if I went in the front way, because they all had fire arrows, and this would have just been... This would have just been a death trap, essentially. And we ascend. A mace and a soul of a great hero. A mace that would have helped tremendously with some of the previous bosses, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. That's the first strike weapon we've had, really. Other than like these, but that's fist weapons. So we finally get a strike weapon, and it is one of the best. I mean, you'd think regular old mace, you know, um, nothing fancy about it, but it's one of the more efficient just because it's as far as its weight, as far as its the amount of damage it can do. Like it's just a nice, efficient strike weapon. You upgrade that, anything in armor is going to be just destroyed. I might actually upgrade that a little bit. I mean, the main boss that I'm always concerned about this early in the game, because eventually you'll upgrade your weapons to the point where you're not really that worried about strike versus slash or things like that. But the ruined sentinels that we already dealt with, that's one of the ones early on where if you're playing the game vanilla, you want to either buy a mace from Leningrast, um, or you want to get the blacksmith hammer from around where Macduff is. The blacksmith hammer, I think, has a built-in lightning enchantment. Does it? Or I think you no, it's if you it does a ton of damage. I think with the lightning enchantment, it can just completely destroy. Oh, hi, friend. What are you doing up there? Well, what do you think you're doing up there? That's very silly of you to be up there. You know, it's funny. If I hadn't had that Pharos Lockstone and put that in there, I wouldn't have seen you. And that opens up this. Oh, God. What is that thing you're holding? Is that a DLC weapon? You're not supposed to have that. You're right, I'm not. How the hell did you have that much petrified dragon bone? That thing's like +4. Green blossom, pointless. Ring of the Dead, hey. There we go. Remains human even when hollow. This is from the Undead. Wait, or is this just referring to the Undead Crypt? Say it in the Undead Crypt, we can reacquaint ourselves with the dead. We all suffer loss, and none of us can escape death. Then what is the fascination with reclaiming that which has already passed into the beyond? Oh, the Royal Soldier's Ring. These rings were granted to warriors who distinguished themselves in the service of King Vendrick. The king favored simple warriors who staked their every battle on a strength alone. Vendrick seemed like a pretty cool guy. But we will Witch Tree Belvine, who gives a shit. There might be something on it. Witch Tree Belvine that sprouts amongst old growth. Catalyst for miracles and hexes. I don't think I have any. Wait, do I have any? Anything? I do have some dark. Dark fog, scraps of life. Yeah. Awakens the souls of the long buried dead. You basically fire a whole bunch of souls that look very much like the humanities of Dark Souls 1 and some entities you face in Dark Souls 1. In the Abyss, you can see the humanities as actual things that don't so much attack you, they just keep coming towards you. And just their presence hurts you when they're probably not even like intending to. It's just they're drawn to you because they're drawn to that which they had, and oh, standing glares, my face. Hold on, let me see if I can find the actual spell. Dark Souls. I might be able to find it because it's kind of an important one. Pursuers. Let me read this. The sorcery of Manus, Father of the Abyss, grants a fleeting will to the dark of humanity, and volley the result. The will feels envy or perhaps love, and despite the inevitable trite and tragic ending, The will sees no alternative and is driven madly toward its target. So envy or perhaps love, it just wants to be near a living thing, almost like vicariously. Just it even though it's ended, even though it's over for itself, it sees no alternative. It has to be near you, almost to try to experience vicariously what you're experiencing in life. And that spell was very important. Like one of the things that that DLC did was really hammer home a lot of stuff, and that spell specifically hammers home what the meaning of humanity in this game is, and what the meaning of sort of the main theme of the game is. You know, seeking what you once had, clinging. Either you can cling on to what you have, which is what Gwyn did by lighting the first flame again with himself, which is the first sin, that he tried to hold on to what should have been allowed to just die. You know, it was over, and he should have let it just end like it's supposed to, and go on to the Age of Dark, but he was afraid of the unknown. No, I'm not writing that. Mm-hmm. That's no, it's not. But there may be some illusion. This area is. There are certain areas I usually skip, and usually once I get to the Lost Center, I don't really need that much. There's some stuff here, though. Not here, but the other way. But yeah, he feared the unknown, which we all do, and he had a way to prevent the unknown, which was to relight the first fire, the first flame, with himself as the catalyst, and not prevent, but forestall the unknown happening, the Age of Dark, which was also going to be the Age of Man. I don't think there was maliciousness on his part that Dark Souls 3 almost seems to suggest that, like, I don't know, he had some weird, like, thing against people. Like, he feared what the Age of Dark would be because it would be the end of the gods. But I feel like there's less maliciousness and more just he was afraid of, like, because he didn't, it was a fear of the unknown. And so he lit it instead of letting the inevitable happen, and that was the first sin. Don't, trying to hold on to the present instead of letting go, letting, what should die, die, and see what the future brings, and just deal with what the future brings when it comes. And that's basically what, people should be doing. But you have that choice. In every game, you can choose to relight the fire, or you can choose to let it die. You never see what the Age of Dark is, because that's not the point. The point is the choice you make. After having seen everything you've seen, do you think it's worth giving people this kind of existence again, just to go through all of this hell again when the fire eventually dies down? Or is it best just to let it end, let it die? You're gonna blow yourself up. And that's, there's a reason that the choice exists in game, because everyone can make a different decision, and some people are gonna decide different ways. In the beginning, I think everyone has the same idea, which is, well, yeah, of course I'm gonna relight the fire. But after playing through the game, seeing all the characters that you've grown to, to like, you see them all just suffering. Even in victory, they suffer, because that's usually when they go hollow, when they lose their purpose. And that's when you kind of ask yourself, is this really actually worth it? Like, is it better to just see what happens when the light dies, and the Age of Man, where, there is no going back, you live, you die, that's it. And there may be, we don't know what the Age of Dark is going to be. It could be that everything reverts to the way it was when there was just nothing. Or not nothing, but it's hard to say. It wouldn't go back to the time when, like, nothing happened with the dragons. When things just were, but there wasn't any activity. Dark Soul is the soul of physicality. It's the soul of... Ow. And it being in power is why the undead occur. because your physical form will just stay, but there's potential that it could be that everyone will just eventually revert to pygmies. These sort of willless things that just kind of exist. That maybe that's just the natural state. It could also be that people just learn to live with the curse and being undead, and you just... a new kind of society emerges. Who knows? I can hear you guys. Alright. We can give the gargoyles a shot. Why not? I got a Fire's Lockstone. Hey, look! Look who it is. Our friend. It makes sense that you'd see him more here than anywhere else, because this is kind of... you're in the seat of his power, really. You came to him this time. He's like, yeah, you're a problem. We gotta get rid of you. You're an undead and you're not supposed to be out of your cell. What do you got for me? Lady of Black Hood. Sylvanimous Warrior. Is that it? I think that's it. Oh, chest. Fire Seed. I can increase my, Okay, where is the face? There's the face. I can increase my Pyromancy Flame. I also should probably increase my mace for the gargoyles. Then lightning enchant that shit. So do you remember when I said that the original very tumultuous production of this game, when Miyazaki was off doing Bloodborne and stuff, and they had a different director come in for Dark Souls 2, and then they looked at what he was doing and said, "Oh God, go, you're fired. Miyazaki, can you do something with this shit?" And he did. And he came back and said, "Okay, what do we got? Because we can't just make completely new assets." Well, we got this little guy who's Sancho Panza, and Lucatiel was literally called Don Quixote. With the mask, you know, with the beard and conquistador helmet kind of thing. And he said, okay, that character in the mask that looks like Don Quixote, female, we're going to write a character for her, she's going to be great. Sancho Panza, you know what? He's a little doll man who lives in a tower and protects the tower. There you go. Sure. What coven am I even part of right now? Am I still in the blue? No, still am. Thanks. That should be the ring, but I already have the ring, I think. Oops. So this covenant is also kind of neat. It's similar to the Rat Covenant, except basically if someone enters the bell tower and tries to ring the bell to get to the gargoyles, if you have the ring on and you're part of the covenant, you can get summoned to come in and try to repel them, essentially. You come in and you... Oh, that's right, I have help from this one. Who are you? A dude. Cool. Basically, yeah, you get summoned in and you can... You and the enemies will try and get rid of that guy. This is not like the Rat Covenant, where if you're part of the Rat Covenant, the enemies won't attack you. Meaning that's the superior covenant, obviously. Ratties are the best. Hey, fellas. Now, when this game originally came out, this actually was a super dangerous area, because, especially early on, when there weren't that many people that far in the game yet, there were a lot of people that were part of the Bellkeeper's Covenant, so you would walk in and like, pretty much instantly get invaded by 2 people. It's a little rarer these days to actually get an invasion in here. Steel armor and the Guardian Dragon Soul. Damn. Okay. That should only come from a memory, which is super, super late in the game. I can make a cool weapon with the Guardian Dragon Soul. Is there anything else behind you? Oh, it's you. Alright. Yeah, a lot of people died trying to get this item before they got cooked. Oh, you too. How'd you die? So, one of my characters in Final Fantasy XIV, I made a backstory for her. She's a Dark Knight. But her backstory is that she actually has the Echo. Because if you're playing a role-playing character, you're not the Warrior of Light. I'm not going to jump into the gargoyles right now. I'm actually going to run out, buy some stuff, and then run back in. I'm going to upgrade the crap out of the mace, because that's going to make this a lot easier. Although this sword actually probably wouldn't... Broken Straight Sword, completely worthless. This sword probably wouldn't do that badly. But we'll just play it safe. But she has the Echo. And her Echo is basically, because it works, the Echo in Final Fantasy XIV works a little different for everybody. Some people can see visions of someone's past through their own eyes. Some people can see brief glimpses of the future. Hers basically works like Dark Souls Bloodstains. Anywhere where someone has died, she will just see a phantom of them replaying those last minutes, like in Dark Souls. So she's basically got a very grim personality because she just sees death all around her at all times, playing out infinitely. Although the older the death, the more vague it is, and in some cases she just won't see anything. If it's like, an ancient like battlefield from like thousands of years ago, you actually won't see nothing. It has to be at least somewhat recent. But I always thought that was an interesting idea of someone who's just going to have a very grim personality because that's all they see. Anywhere they go, they're like, oh, this place looks nice. Oh, 4 people died over there at various times. Oh, it didn't look pretty either. This is why we can't have nice things. So gargoyles are an optional boss, completely optional actually. And actually, I might not.
Is that a shard you found?
Yes, I have.
However,
There we go. Before I level up, before I actually go to the gargoyles, I want to see if I can proc their Yeah, I want to see if I can get there, because usually you see them beforehand when you're going through the undead, not the Bastille in a certain place. Let me buy a whole bunch of... Yeah, I'll upgrade the mace first. Reinforce. We want to reinforce mace, but we don't have any Titanite shards. Awesome. Oh, he only has 4. McDuffel. No, McDuffel won't have more. That's a problem. Who else has some? There's other people who have some. You don't have any, but you have lots of these, and those are what I want. That's a bit much. 20 should be fine. Bearer, seek less, thank you. Yeah, we'll do some leveling up. Why not? Might be able to get like 1. No, we can get 1. I would need 2 points of adaptability to get any agility, so we're not going to do that yet. We can get some more carrying weight. HP's always good. Let's start moving dex up to meet strength at least. Okay. Yeah, it is definitely way lighter. I was wondering if I could switch between the two. No, that's fine. So this is... The thing is, this does have magic, so I might be able to get away with it with the gargoyles. Possibly. Let's give it a shot. Servants' quarters. And yeah, from here... I'll go a little past servants' quarters and see if we can get the gargoyles to show up where they're supposed to show up the first time, to give you basically let you know that they exist. What do you think you're doing? No. There they go. Yeah, if you enter, okay, so I entered in the wrong place. If you enter through another way, you'll actually see them kind of jump up and then fly over toward the tower. That's your hint, if you haven't played the original game, that, by the way, there's something over there. A secret. The gargoyles being a reference to the gargoyle fight from the first game, which is a very memorable fight. It even uses the same music, which is awesome because that music is fantastic. But one of those things where it's like, you know, we're reusing a boss. And we already pulled a trick in the original where you fight these gargoyles. And you think you've won, and then, oh, there was a third one. In this one, it's like, oh, you got the gargoyles, and there's a third one. Oh, but there's a fourth one. Oh, but there's a fifth one. And it's like, yeah, okay, we get it. Yeah, it's not that good a trick, if I'm being honest. You just increase the number of fake-outs. But at the same time, I'm okay with it because it's still the gargoyles, and they're still one of my favorite Dark Souls moments. Alright, let's do it. 100% sure this is going to be great without the mace. Doing damage. Yeah, I mean, they're taking damage. I think we'll be fine. Nope, there's the third, fourth, whatever, third. Hey, Mastilus, man. Okay, there's another one. Okay, I think they're all awake now. We gotta start clearing out some of these guys just to get the attacks out. Oh, I think this might be one more left to come out. Okay, one down. Yeah, I think the magic attack on this is what's helping. Okay, it's another one down. Yeah, so we can just reduce the amount of active attackers. That's huge. Oh, now the last one's out. Okay, now we got everybody. The gang's all here. Okay, another one down. Oh, that's not good. Drink, 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 drink. Okay, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Come here, you. Okay. This went way easier than it usually does. Probably because I have a DLC weapon with magic attack attached to it, naturally, that does a crap ton of damage. Great combustion? Well, I might be able to use that. Oh, okay. Chest. And another bonfire. Lucatiel's vest, which I already have. Wait. I have two of them now. Okay. Sure. And then we get this little optional area. As far as who the princess is and who the prince is, there is possibly, excuse me, there is possibly a hint at who the prince is later in the game. As far as who the princess is, that's also kind of up for speculation. I mean, you could do the everything has to be connected to characters from the first Dark Souls game, so it's Guinevere, but that makes zero sense to me. And I don't think it's... Yeah, I honestly don't know who the heck it is that they're trying to imply. I'm sure I could look up a theory. Because when a lot of those theories are being put together, we didn't even know about the other queens that are involved in the DLCs. Oh, this guy is nothing now. With this weapon, Jesus. It's the fact that I had not only had the DLC weapon, but I got randomly a whole bunch of petrified dragon bone, which is a pretty rare upgrade material, to actually be able to upgrade the crap out of it. Soul Proud Knight, Simpleton Spice, Learning Skull. Nothing really that important. And that's it for this area. Okay, so we have gotten some things. I kind of want to take a look at some things here. The Guardian Dragon Soul. Wait, that's the wrong Guardian Dragon. Wrong one. I'm thinking of a different one. Soul of the dragon that guards the path to the shrine. Did the dragons watch over the land of their own will, or are they in the grip of one of Aldia's spells? Yes, I'm thinking of a different dragon. Not that it's that big a deal. What the heck does the dragon give you? Let's see. It gives me Spitfire Spear and the Drakewing Ultra Greatsword, neither of which I have any interest in. Yeah, not particularly. Um, eh. Yeah, not really much that I care about. Anyway, well, what's the actual requirements? Perhaps I'll... Only 20 and 18? And no requirements intelligent... Okay, well, hold on. 20 and 18 only, huh? There'll be some hope for that. It'll be a bit, because I gotta get artifacts. That's a whole other can of worms getting her. Although at the very least her key should be, try jumping? How is that rated 10? How did people rate that positively? He's basically telling you to kill yourself. What? Why is that rated positively? Seriously. So now we can go and take out the Lost Sinner. What's the quickest way to do this? Probably, yeah, probably just going back to Summer School. Actually, no. Yeah, probably. That's our best bet here. We're just gonna go the old-fashioned way. Squeak. Hey, friend. Hi, friend. There is that. Screw it. Do it. Do it. Yeah, bud. Oh, I'm surprised you survived that. This will lead me actually not in a bad place. I mean, this is not a great room, but I'll accept it. This is basically where we'd go if we went up the stairs from that room. It's gonna say if you'd start ragdolling. If you technically leave an area, but you haven't had kind of transition screen, to save space, enemies will just disappear. They are out of the range that you can normally see them. But if you enter back in through, they'll just pop back into existence, like standing up and T-posing, and then ragdoll back to the ground. It's hilarious. What could be in here? First of all, why? Why? Um, Hold on. It is a requirement, as far as I'm concerned, that there has to be... is it not amusing? Am I missing something? Don't give up. I mean, this is required. There you go. Don't give up, skeleton. There's many places where this is applicable, but this is one of the first. You did. Oh. Oh. Don't give up, skeleton. You're doing a good job. You'll be okay. You'll pull through. There are many, many places in this game where you will be able to say, "Don't give up, skeleton." And I'm shocked it's not there. I'm shocked we didn't find it right there. Usually that's one of the places that you always see that message. Just got unlucky, I guess. I swear to God. Try luring it out, revenge. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the point. Now that sucker up there, he gonna get got. So there's plenty of things here that we want. Oh, the items. Covetous Serpent Ring. That's actually, you know what, let's put that on. I don't really need the life ring. Covetous Serpent Ring, fallen foes yield more souls. Because of course there's more. There's always more. And when I say there's more, I mean there's another pursuer fight. I think this might be the last one in this particular zone. Oh, you haven't seen him do that yet. Go fuck yourself. What do you think you're doing? The mace, actually, is another thing where early on, if you want to beat this pursuer the first time, just get a mace. It will just wreck his day. Pursuer does not like having to deal with strike damage. So now I have 2 bone fists. I could make a karate build. Technically. Well, it's not really karate, but there's some karate in there. Yeah, get wrecked. Twinkling Titanite. I don't think I have any weapons I've been using that require Twinkling Titanite, but that's okay. Hey, dead man. This just leads me back in here. But there's more to see, you see. That came out weird. A Melu Scimitar. Okay, hold on. What is the Melu Scimitar? Scimitar of Laddersmith Gilligan. Oh, okay. We're gonna meet him in the place we're going to next. Nothing notable about this weapon, except perhaps the luxurious jewels embedded in the hilt. If your aim is to appear dazzling on the battlefield, this just might do the trick. I could use that. I mean, not well because it's heavy, but not heavy, but you know. Oh, I should have bought arrow. Excuse me? Excuse the fuck out of me? Okay, so we're gonna be very careful here. Be very careful. Yep, we're gonna be very careful. Like just tiny, tiny presses of the controller. Very, very careful. We see it over there. We see what we want. We're just gonna take the thing. Gotta be very careful. No, it's not here. Well, I mean, it is, but right. There we go. The Zweihander. Okay. Well, okay then. I need 24 strength, and I'm gonna need I'm gonna need to really boost up my carrying capacity. But okay. That's totally worth it. Let's get the hell out of here. Spend some souls. That's awesome. I could buy some arrows. Actually, McDuff, I think, had some better arrows, so I can always go to him. But even just some regular old iron arrows should be fine. Just something to... Anything reinforcement I can do? He's also just regular old Titanite. Alright. Well, it did say there's not really that much special about it. I could upgrade armor, but there's really no point, to be honest. Buy item. Give me some arrows. Just regular old, like, you know what, 30, sure.
I'll be around.
Nothing fancy. I'll take some more from her. I could technically... how many of these do I have? Hold on. How many more fragrant branches do I have? I have 4 of them. Jesus. I'm not sure that you need 4 in the game at this point. But okay. Then we'll just buy the Ferrous Lockstone. Because those I'm not finding quite as much as... yeah, not quite as much as everything else. We'll do another 20. Just because. Haven't need to buy any humanities from her, at least. Bear, seek, lust. Alright. I could actually get the 24 strength I need now, I think, yeah. And then we'll pump another into Dex. So I could technically use the Zweihander now. Zweihander is a decent... I mean, it looks cool. I like a good old Zweihander. Do I have the money? I have the money. Could buy some repair powder at some point. I think I have some.
I'll be around.
I mean, right now, though, this is just so much damage on this weapon. Oh. What did I drop before? Hold on. Oh, that was the stuff that I got that I shouldn't have had. That's right, that was the stuff that, the weapons and stuff that I got from the chest that hadn't been randomized. So we're just gonna go to... Servant's quarters, I think. Alright, just one moment, chat. Alright, we're back. Get ready to go. Going this way. Open. Just gonna make a mad dash through this. There's a bonfire we're going for, and then we're just gonna clear the way to. The main reason I'm packing so many life gems because I don't want to have to waste Estus before the Lost Sinner. Once we actually get to the point where we can make a run at her. That's right. That's right. Yeah, what you got? I need to get up there and then jump down to get that. I don't even know if it's worth. It's probably worth it. If we're being honest, yeah, it's probably worth it. I don't know why I did that. Because why not? That's why. We've basically gotten most things that we're going to need here. Wait. Oh, wait. This way might not be terrible. I'm trying to think the right way to do this. Yeah, okay, got it. That was so not worth it. That was 100% not worth it at all. Wow, okay, awesome. I'm gonna, yep, and then I can use this to get right back up. Who doesn't love being in a gibbet? And it's roomy enough. You feel secure. You feel safe. Let's go see, Frempt. I mean, totally not Frempt. Just same voice actor. That's why I'm saying. Orma's Great Shield. Hold on. Did I already have that? Okay, so yeah, I did. What the other one? Not that I'm going to use them, but Fragrant Branch of Yore, and we get a new bonfire. There's another new bonfire I was thinking of. I forgot he had his own. Let's open this up. We could drop down there, but we don't need to. Another Titanite chunk. I need Titanite, like just regular old Titanite shards. Hey, what's going on?
Still a bit stiff, I'm afraid. I must thank you, young traveler. I've been a guest
Ah, crap.
for
Strayed.
a very long time, but I don't
That's what
think
he said.
anybody will miss me. Very good indeed, cursed one. Weak you may be, but I, Strayed, will teach you my spell. How long was I sat petrified? Long enough for the old kingdom to have crumbled, I see. Why didn't anyone wake me sooner? Rang Lake. I've never heard the name. Is that what they call this place now? Very good. Very good indeed. The cursed ones were imprisoned within this land. cursed ones like a plague. Some people would rather keep dreadful things out of sight, out of mind. In the end, they swept them up and corralled them here. So very typical of meek minds, don't you think?
So that suggests that, so the kingdom he was part of was one from, ages past that has, collapsed, which means that the Bastille itself was a prison as well at some point in a previous age. That Drang Lake didn't build it, that this was just here, and they just repurposed it and kind of, not even necessarily repurposed it, because he basically said the same thing, that they were rounding up, even in his time, cursed undead to ship over here. So that, yeah, it seems like the people of Drang Lake, Vendrick, when his kingdom was established, just found this place and said, well, here's a prison, might as well use it. I don't think I have anything. I need the Ruined Sentinel Soul for that, which I'm never going to use anyway. What weapons does he have? He has the Pursuer's Ultra Great Sword, if I had the Soul Pursuer, and his Great Shield. The Dragon Rider, who is the guy we fought in Hade's Tower of Flame. We have his weapon and his halberd, which is an okay halberd. It's got some magic damage on it. The Dragon Rider Twin Blade, which is a twin blade. Think like Darth Maul or Zidane from Final Fantasy IX. That's usually what I think. I was just thinking the Viper class coming next year in the expansion for Final Fantasy XIV that does the dual blades, the twin blade rather. They better have a Zidane-style Mage Masher weapon. And Gabrant's weapons, just idle thinking. Dragon Rider Bow, decent bow. The Gargoyle Bident, if we have the Gargoyle Soul, we can get a really high strength scaling spear. The Barbed Club from the Flexile Sentry that we fought, as well as the Giant Stone Axe from the Soul of the Last Giant, and the Warped Sword and Arced Sword from the Flexile Sentry as well. So basically, he is one of two merchants in the game that sell, or rather trade. You give them a boss soul, and they give you a specific weapon, a boss weapon, or spell. The other is, deals mainly in more magic-y things. As far as just raw weapons, that's for Ornifex, who we'll meet later. But not really anything I have any interest in. The Agape Ring. This just raises intelligence, I think. That's absorb souls in place of wearer. And yeah, he has a lot of spells. Lingering Flame. Basically, you can have like a mine, a proximity mine. Control the amulet. Terrifies the flame swath. And this is, okay, here we go. This is actually similar to the spell I was reading earlier from Dark Souls 1. This is Affinity. Creates a dark mass that seems to pursue its target with a will of its own. It appears to be a manifestation of an emotion, perhaps of hate, perhaps of love. A little more vague.
Let's hope the magnificence of my spells does not deter you.
Potion seller. I'm going into battle. I have need of your finest potions. You could not handle my potions, traveler. They would kill you. Yeah, he kind of just moves. So he's a lot out of your way. It used to be that he would just stand in the door after you got him out of his petrification, and you would have to go to another bonfire to reset him over here so you'd be able to get in and get his... It was kind of annoying. But, whatever. Whatevs. Alright, time to go... Yeah, this, I'm not gonna lie, I could probably go the entire game just with this gear. I mean, the armor is fine, whatever. it's always, I mean, this is a great set of armor, but you can go through the game with almost any armor. But this weapon, I mean, I would probably still want to upgrade it a little more, and if I don't get any more Petrified Dragon Bone, or if I don't find some for a while, I might switch it out for another weapon. And I will probably anyway, just because it's fun to swap out. There's two mindsets you can have. One is, well, this is my character's armor set and weapon of choice. And that's, sometimes I do a playthrough where it's like, no, this is their weapon. And then sometimes I'm like, nah, I'm just going to keep swapping weapons the whole time just because it's fun to try different styles. And for a playthrough of this sort, it may make more sense to try different things as I go. I kind of do want to try out the... because this is also going to give me an opportunity to find weapons that I don't usually bother going after or finding. Like, you might have to kill the ladder guy to get this. I don't know. I don't remember how you get his weapon. Decent little weapon set, or move set. That's alright. Yeah, just simple. I'll take around with this for a little bit. Once I get enough things upgraded, then I can actually really switch between some things. Oh, don't fall off! Yeah, could use some upgrading, but otherwise, not a bad little curve sword. This is going to be super heavy. Oh, there's some stuff I found also that I'm going to want to look at. As you can see, Ultra Great Swords, kinda smashy. They do a Shadow Top. Hey, wait a minute. Is that the Assassin's gear? Steel armor. Steel armor looks good. Oh. It can look good. Maybe not with this outfit. Heavy steel armor, relic of an order of knights said to be the mightiest warriors of their time. The Grave Warden Top. Worn by Wardens of the Crypt. The Wardens of the Crypt watch over the slumbering dead, making sure they are not awoken. Be they king or peasant, wise or dull, rich or poor, the Wardens treat them with the same care. We'll be meeting the Grave Wardens as well. I like the Grave Wardens, actually, quite a bit. They're good people. We're just going to put the sword... what else do we have? The Chotel is still pretty good. Cyan's Halberd. I need more dexterity for that. I'll need 25. So I'm going to start raising dex so I can use that, because it looks... The Halberd moveset is pretty cool. Get some swipes, some stabs. We can't really see the full moveset because I don't have the dex for it, but... like, I'm never going to use that. Shadow Dagger. So this is from Mira, where Lucatiel is from. There exists an order of Shadow Knights who carry out assassinations in the cover of darkness. Those who fled even the order of Shadow Knights had rejected all forms of honor and resorted to unseemly mercenary work. The Sun Sword was kind of the savior of this playthrough, but I mean, right now, the Drake Blood Greatsword. Mm-hmm. There's some other stuff. I think I got a Grave Warden. Yeah, the Grave Warden mask. Same basic information. Designed only to block light. But they keep the Undead Crypt, there we go. Yeah, in the crypt, they basically say very similar things to what we've all been talking about already, but also the idea that death is kind of the great equalizer. You know, as he says, rich or poor, wise or dull, now they're all just dead, and they're at peace. Which is kind of how I build a lot of my cleric characters and soul of. Oh, that's just a soul. Okay, that could be big. If I can just start finding those. And here is Lucatiel's summon sign, so this will be the second boss we're going to have for fight. But we got to clear our way to it first. Hey, look, the Flexos sentry again. So basically, we saw him on the boat because that boat came from here. The sentries were created in order to guard the Bastille. And, the whole idea of two eyes, eyes in the back of your head. Two sentries means it's pretty hard to sneak up on him. He's the real challenge here. Now, this used to have a bunch of like weird scorpion creatures that made no sense why they'd be there. Again, they were trying to make something out of the assets they had, and they couldn't really devote as much time as they needed to really figure out where enemies should go. So they were like, put a big enemy down there, it's fine. With Scarl the First Sin, they were able to go back and say, okay, let's really think about what enemy should be here and what makes sense to be here. There's no reason for the skeletons that the scorpions rather that the Duke of Seldora was creating to be here. Or actually, no, I think those are Aldia's, I think. Which also makes like no sense. Why would Aldia's weird experiments be here? Whereas Titanite Shard, hey, I need those. So we gotta be a little careful. There's not really anything else here, but there is actually an edge that if you have a light, and I have tons of flame butterflies, okay. You'll be able to actually kind of see where it ends. Oh, actually, hey, someone literally just died. That just appeared. Oh, you can kind of see at the right angle. Because there is just a straight drop-off. He's going to like step right forward. He's testing it. Oh, there it is. Oh, I can't really see it. Sometimes you can actually distinctly see where the end of the land you're standing on is. I like that. I mean, someone else is playing this game right now because we saw that bloodstain appear right in front of us. That's hilarious. Amazing. Hi. But yeah, so it makes sense that a Flexile Sentry would be here because this is another spot where there's a lot of cells. So they'd basically be along with the big ogre-like guys with the pole arms. I feel like they'd be more the regular guards, and then the Flexile Sentry would be in specific spots that were probably harder to completely lock down. Oh, there's another summon here. Oh, okay, it's Shieldman. I want to say, hurrah for Skeleton! Don't give up, man. You're doing good. You're doing your best. Hey, friend. Is there another Shadowman over here somewhere? Yep, there he is. You can kind of see him. Yeah, there's one here. There's one in the Forest of Fallen Giants that I think we got, and then we'll see kind of remnants of these kind of dudes later. And then a Haid Knight was also locked up here at some point. Ah, jeez, he's one of the spear ones. Well, that's fine. He's dead. Yeah, at some point they caught one of them. Or, yeah, he was just shipped here as an undead. He got marked. I do love kamikaze enemies. Don't I always say it? I say that all the time. That's a quote. I love kamikaze enemies. They're my favorite. Hello. How are you? Stream is going well. We are doing so much better than we did last time. Well, than the first time. I'd say since the first stream, now that we have weapons. Probably heard way more movement. Things have been going so much smoother. Every stream has gotten slightly easier. But such is the way with Dark Souls. And it helps knowing all the nooks and crannies and where I can find items to try to... I mean, it still almost got me the first stream when I didn't have weapons and I couldn't find a weapon. Because I was pretty much... Chaos Boots and Elizabeth Mushrooms are pretty amazing. They will just straight up keep healing you over time for a very, very, very long time. I think we're good. Now we can call our friends over. Come to my party. Here, look at you. But yeah, I mean, even with knowing where I can get a whole bunch of items super early on, I was pretty much like tapped out of possible places to get weapons, like to get any kind of drop until like I found everything I could possibly find before going into the Forest of Fallen Giants. And even then, you know what, we'll bring the other guy, why not? Well, the merrier. There's not really a trick to this boss, but there is something to think about. The boss itself is kind of ridiculously easy, to be honest. But it's the first of the four big souls you're going to fight. So this is one of the four lords that we were told to find. We need to find the souls of the four lords, and that will be able to lead us to the king. That's basically all we really know at this point. Hey, friend. There's another player. Is he gonna die? Let's see. Nah, he's doing fine. I don't think there's anything in there that could hurt him. Yeah, Lucatiel, can you please? Thank you. But yeah, I scraped every bit. And even then, I didn't really find a good weapon until well into Forest of Fallen Giants. But then I found the friggin' DLC sword. Which, oh god, this is a mistake. This is a mistake. No, no, please, guys. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. There you go. Jesus. Come on. Okay. So the trick, quote unquote, to this boss is that it's very dark in the room. So it's, unless you can find the Bastille key before coming in here, it's easier to find now. It used to be slightly trickier, if I remember correctly. And then you just need to light the this. This will light some braziers inside the room, meaning we can actually see. Can you guys maybe come in closer so I can get out? Thank you. So basically, in the dark, the boss was harder to auto-target, because you can't target an enemy in the dark unless they're very close to you, and the boss would jump around and kind of, like, do things to try to break your targeting. It was still extremely easy, but this just makes things a little bit easier. And you'll remember, so this is the lord that basically got the soul of the Witch of Izalith, the life soul. And if you remember, I was talking about how the life soul and the Witch of Izalith, she tried to relight the... she didn't try to relight the first flame, she tried to make her own first flame. And as a result made demons, which are basically aberrant life, a perversion of the life soul. And she herself became this kind of weird bug thing that maybe like 2-3 feet long, this bug, like, that's basically all it was, but around it, it had built this entity of chaos to kind of protect it. And it seems like anyone who gets one of the souls of the lords of those 4 great souls. Although technically one of them is just 2 of the same soul. I'll explain it when we get to it. Um, they start to take on, like we see from who they are in this timeline, in this, you know, much further in the future era from Dark Souls 1, that anyone who ended up possessing one of those souls started to kind of take on some of the characteristics and like goals and desires and personalities of the soul they had. So this one got the Witch of Izalith's soul. So, you know, since I don't think we're going to get their soul, so we can't read it, well, we'll get it later, probably. They tried to relight the flame again, themselves, but with a much weaker power level than the Witch of Izalith certainly had, being like the one who had the soul to begin with. And it didn't quite work out again, and this is why they're imprisoned, because they tried to do that, and basically probably spawned some demons. But we're going to see what happened to them personally. So that little tiny bug, that's them. So whereas the Witch of Izalith was a much larger creature when she transformed, the Lost Sinner, that's all the power they had when they tried to make a new flame. They're a tiny little bug inhabiting a husk. I don't even know if this is actually their original body. It could just be the bug is piloting any body it can find. Like, this could be their version of the Bed of Chaos. This is like the kind of just a vessel that they're piloting. But yeah, so we can see, again, a degradation of what things were in the old times. In the old times, that soul and the bearer of that soul could create the abyss itself and chaos, basically. Not the abyss. The abyss is Manus kind of stuff, but could create chaos, the bed of chaos, and demons. In this case, didn't really make much, and also, instead of being like a bug, you know, a few feet long, tops, it's this tiny little finger-sized bug. Like, that's how little power that it was able to muster. Because just having the soul isn't enough. You yourself also have a lot of power yourself. You know what? That's actually a very fitting thing to get, Fading Soul. That also is indicative of the idea that the souls are fading. You know, you get the soul of the Witch of Izalith, the life soul itself, but at this point it's not really what it used to be. It's kind of losing a lot of its luster. It's been drained over time, similar to every lighting of the fire with new chosen undead is going to get a little bit weaker because things are it's entropy. Things are going to break down over time. Ooh, another petrified dragon bone and another soul of a giant. So souls of a giant come from giants that you fight in memories later, way later in the game, when we can go back in time to the War of the Giants. They're just souls giants that you fight in that past drop. And they're kind of important for one, well, really only one thing. But that's interesting that we're starting to find those. I mean, it makes sense. It's part of the item pool. So we've beaten one of... Let's... do I have enough Petrified Dragon Bone to upgrade this again? I may also want to start saving some Petrified Dragon Bone, just in case. I'm going to need 5, yeah. I might want to save some Petrified Dragon Bone. I don't know what to upgrade. That could be a fun weapon, but we'll hold on to that for now. Yeah, hold on. Let's get the 25 I need for the Zweihander, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do. 25. Okay, that's good. I like that. Okay, I like that even better. Some endurance and some carry weight. You know what? 2 carry weight. So we're doing adaptability for our iframes on the roll, so we can get even more invincibility frames. I thought she said something about that. Never mind. And I did burn the Sublime Bone Dust. I don't think I have anything else. Actually, I have a lot of eatable souls. I could use it, but I'm actually going to hold on to those, because I don't really need it right now. I'm going to hold on to the Guardian Dragon Soul until we get to Ornifex. I could try to but wait, where do I gotta remember where we get the key to unlock Ornifex's cell. But that would also mean I have to get all the way to Brightstorm Cave of Saldora, which is its own thing. Yeah, we'll wait. We'll wait. Let's just eat all this. And then we'll level the crap out of everything. And there we go. I still have a Ferrous Luckstone. I have 3 for your Branches of Yore. That's just... Yeah, okay. Alright, let's do some leveling. Let's get, yeah, some carry weight up. Get that up to 15. Get another adaptability point. So that's another agility point. Or I could get way more carry weight so I can have a better chance of using the Zweihander with other things. You know what? We'll do that. Once I can get this, once I can hold a Zweihander and still have, you know, my carry weight pretty good, then I think we're pretty good at that point. Perfect. I don't think I really need any more. We'll rock this for a little bit. I think we're good on that. So basically, with you know what? 5. Thank you. So with Lucatiel helping us in that fight, that means we've done 2 of Lucatiel's required boss fights. The next is going to be kind of where we're going next. Well, there's 2 places we could go next and meet her. Or at least call her. Sorry. I was freaking out. We could go down and fight the... Well, we could technically. We could try the Rotten, and then we wouldn't even really need the Smelter Demon, although Smelter Demon is probably the easier of the 2 to keep her alive. To be honest. But we'll see her in Earthen Peak. Because we've already seen her at Randomizer. Wharf. We can see her again in Earthen Peak and one in Black Gulch. So what we'll do is, I think what we'll do... Yeah, we'll do Earthen Peak. We'll get to the Smelter Demon, deal with that. And then we can go down to Black Gulch, because there's a whole lot of stuff down there we're going to have to deal with. Because there's just so much crap in the Rotten's area that, yeah, it's just a pain. How much do I need for the Kiet? Oh, she might actually have something to say now. Hey, you're still living his best life, losing his memories. Oh, surely Shally Dilly Dally. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Sorry. Oh, there she is.
Oh. Who are you again?
Oh, it's my cat's natural state.
No, I'm not serious. You do have a rather pleasant scent. The type I'm quite fond of.
Let's see if she has anything to talk about.
This place is fascinating. We receive only the most peculiar visitors. It's enough to keep even a cat amused.
Is that you? Is that you?
Are you going to see the old one?
Oh, here we go.
Those 4 who have grown so incredibly ancient. They must have sprouted quite a thick coat of moss by now. The imagine that.
Technically, yeah, if you...
Yes, nothing like yourself. For you have a most pleasant scent. It grows nicer with each passing day. Have you made friends with the man by the sea? He's lost everything. Absolutely everything. The only thing he's good for now is a few tidbits on covenants. Covenants are a type of, well, contract, you might say. You give something to gain something. That's the way humans like it, right? It might be just the thing you need. But what does a cat know? Did you see that oddly formed rock behind here? Long ago they called it Victor's Stone, as I recall. If you wish to face greater challenges,
Basically,
you'd just as well not.
there's a stone... We technically saw it when I went up to get an item, but there's a kind of just a thing carved in the rock. I can actually show you. But it basically, you can do that to just immediately go into New Game Plus. Bonfire aesthetics work just for me, you know, for specific areas that I specifically want something from. If I play through the game vanilla, you know,
This place is already
not randomized.
Everything will crumble and waste away so that something new may be born. Isn't it wonderful? This place is...
Okay, so she's not talking about any of the old ones yet.
They must have...
Well, she talks about that, but she'll specifically talk about,
Hey,
for example, she'll talk about the old Iron King and things like that. But it's that thing. If you talk to that, you can skip to New Game Plus. Again, I don't know why you would. Some people are into this more for the challenge. Some people are into it more for PvP. I'm just into it because I just enjoy the gameplay and I enjoy the world, I guess. So I just like going through and seeing everybody. It's one of those games I enjoy playing. I had mentioned it in the roguelike Switch Stravaganza. Keep going between those two names. I meant to see how much it's going to cost me to buy the ring I need from her.
oh, you do have a tie.
What do you got? It costs 13,400. Not bad. Not bad at all, actually.
Nothing suit. Well, that's...
Once I get the ring, I'll be able to jump down there. So once I get some souls, and I don't think I have any I can eat that I'm willing to eat. Not really. Okay. So we have shaded wood, we have... I kind of don't want to sprint all the way through shaded wood just to get Ornifex, because that means I would have to get to Brightstone Cave Seldora earlier than I'd like to. That's what Ornifex is. So yeah, we're not going to do that. We are going... this way! No, this way. Places to go. We going, we going. I don't think it's crashing. I think we're fine. Okay. Yep, we're fine. Not sure what that was about, but... I went the wrong way. I have to go through the Hades Tower Flameway. That's right. That's right. I always find, like, of the three hub area, kind of hub, like the main port hub, where you have your main bonfire, Between Firelink Shrine, whatever the one in 3, I can't remember what it was called. There's like a Firelink, almost like a chapel kind of thing. And this Majula is definitely my favorite. Just the music alone is just so calming. It reminds me a little bit of the pocket watch chime from the Clint Eastwood movie for a few dollars more. It was part of the Man with No Name trilogy. Um, it was him and Lee Van Cleef, and there's a theme of a pocket watch that has a chime that goes off, and like that is how they start a duel. Like the bad guy will always say, we draw when the music stops." It's this whole thing. I would recommend watching it, but that chime reminds me of Majula's theme. I wonder if I could find it. Oh, yeah, there it is. Easy peasy. Okay, why is it not playing the whole thing? You know what? We'll just do it this way. Oh, here we go. Oh, I'm watching like on the wrong screen. There we go. I don't like that version. I'm definitely not listening. Oh, you know what? I probably shouldn't even play this. Probably get claimed. You know what? That's good enough. Hearing that, you know what? I didn't listen to the whole thing. I probably shouldn't get claimed. Okay, we're good. I think we're good. Suddenly I was like, wait a minute. That's from a movie. Definitely not gonna see. Definitely not gonna watch the scene. But yeah, no, that's probably gonna get claimed. So yeah, no. Listen to very little of it, but you can see how there's a similarity in the melody. Please don't sue me for using like 5 seconds of your clip or your music. Fantastic movie. It's my favorite of the 3 Man of No Name trilogy. Good, the Bad, the Ugly is really, really good. It's fantastic. Um, Fistful of Dollars is great, but my favorite of the 3 is For a Few Dollars More. I think just the way that chime is just that continuous thing that's always kind of there in with the bad guy, and the way it like the payoff to all of that, as far as like what it represents and how it plays into the ending is so good. Like the final showdown with that music is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. Not like a top 10 one, but oh, hey, bud.
Leave me alone. I'm interested in one thing, dog.
Yeah, I gotta get my intelligence up to talk to him again. And we came this far at least. So here we are in the good old Undead Refuge. I know it's a refuge, but yeah. So that's also a rare moment when Lee Van Cleef played a lot of bad guys in a lot of westerns. That's one where he was actually one of the good guys because he played an awesome bad guy. Is that you? Is that you? probably. It's probably it. As far as whether I'm going to actually do the full... there could be items. God damn it. It's like a lot of stuff... Okay, so this is something that we're going to want to deal with. Oh, I forgot to equip my arrows. These are great arrows, which I need a great bow for. I don't know when I'm going to actually find one. Yep. So here's an area where light is also kind of important because we can see where the moths are that are going to drop poison on us, because that was poison, basically. I remember, it may have actually been in the original version of the game, not Scholar, when I got invaded in this place, and we couldn't find each other. Like, the invader, at one point, messaged me, it was, when, it was on a 360, and so someone actually messaged me on the Xbox 360, like, you know, private messages, and was like, "Where are you?" And I just replied, "I don't know. It's my first time in this area, and I have no idea how to navigate it." Because we were like, it was in a similar cave to that one, and occasionally we would see each other's names, and he's like, "Yeah, I can see your name, but I literally have no idea how you got there." And I'm like, "I don't either!" We were like messaging each other back and forth, like, "Okay, I found this thing. There might be a stairway or a ladder or something. See if you can get in this direction." Like, we were helping each other try to navigate this place. It's not as bad as I remember it, because I came back, you know, in subsequent playthroughs it wasn't that bad. But there are a lot of little nooks and crannies you can find that will kind of screw. Okay, seriously? Trying that flippy shit. A Titanite chunk. I mean, we're getting a lot of, you know, visions of merchant. Yeah. It does kind of remind me of the merchant from Dark Souls 1 that's behind the bars. In the Undead Burg. Is there anything? I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything, because we're going to have to go down there. There's a lot of... Okay, hold on. Once I get up there, there's a jump... Oh god, there's so many weird jumps I have to try to make. Hey, Betty. You look like you're having some trouble there. You having some trouble? Need some help? There you go. Oh. Best of luck. We're just gonna go here. Grab a Deece. A petrified something, I can give that to the crows, although if it's an item or if it's a weapon or equipment, I can't use it. Because it's against my rules. But if it's like an upgrade material, I don't think they give regular old Titanite shards. I think they usually give bigger things. So trying Lake on, let's go. He's doing his best. Okay, first things first, get rid of these assholes. Archers are the bane of my existence in most things. Because I usually prefer the direct approach. Like, come and fight me, don't snipe me. That's not an illusory wall. It's not an illusory wall. I think there might be... Is there a... There is. Well, you know what? Now that I have tons of crimson butterflies, let's start lighting some stuff. That way everything looks a little nicer. And I can see. That's death. That is just a pit of death. But what I was going to say is, as far as... Because there's so many little like side quests and side things that I don't usually do just because I know what items they give and there's not, they're not items I want or need. So I just ignore them. Like the Dark Covenant, where you can go through these like almost like no, I gotta get up. You can go through these sort of like little battle arenas almost. Or is that Dark Souls 1? God damn it. And then you can end up getting stuff from them. I think there's a boss you can fight. Sort of a super boss. It isn't really all that hard, to be honest. But ultimately, I almost never do it because I don't care about the stuff you get from them. But that could be anything now. It could be any number of items. So it's like I kind of have to now. Is there a safe way down from here? Not really. I don't like that sound. That sounds like a basilisk to me, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I think I got to go the other way. I'll find a lower way to get in, but okay, remember how I was saying if you leave an area and come back in, all the bodies will be like T-posing, then drop to the ground? I'm pretty sure that's what just happened. Hold on. I want to see if I can see them. Ah, damn it. I don't think... But I'm pretty sure that's what just happened. uh... Shimmy, 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 shimmy. Is there another way out down there? Because there's the bridge. There's the Colosseum, where there is another boss and another Covenant, but we're not going to really deal with the Covenant except... Well, we'll join each Covenant just to get the ring, because the ring could be another item. So every Covenant we cover, of course, we'll definitely be joining just for that, at least. Because more items is more items. Was there another way through that? Hold on. I'll do this so I can get back to the beginning before the jump down. Before the drop down. Breakdown. Oh. That's what we wanted. Hi. How are you? Friend? Friend or foe? Yep, okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay. Okay. Nope, that was bad. Yep. Okay, so we have to get over there, jump it just right, so we can land on that, get the item, and not die. That's kind of the trick here. I'm gonna try that again. Try that again. Yep, thank you, friend. Hold on. You come up. Coming up? Are you coming up? Apparently he's not. Okay, that's fine. He can do whatever he wants. It's his, you know, it's his prerogative. I don't care. Maybe it's easier if I do it from like here. Oh, yeah, you are. Nope. Okay, clearly I need to jump earlier. That's the key. You see. I've died twice on this. How many attempts is it going to take? Place your bets. Place your bets. We've died twice so far. There we go. So we've had 2 attempts. I fully anticipate more to get that item. And it could end up just being like a green herb. It is most likely nothing. Or it could be a petrified dragon bone. I don't know. It could be the soul of the rotten from DLC. I don't know. I kind of like that attack, the double strong from some ultra great swords, where you kind of put it over your shoulder and then swing it back the other way. That's kind of cool. All right. All right. We need to. Oh no. Okay. There we go. Yep. Okay. That was close. That was close, actually. Oh god damn it. Okay. Let me just make sure I'm on the right. Okay. Right here? Right here? Nope. Okay. So earlier than that. Even earlier than that. Or a slightly different angle? Maybe? Maybe? Okay. Let's I'm not leaving till I get this. I don't care what it is. It could literally be a crappy soul. Doesn't matter. At this point, it's a principle thing then. Okay. Okay, hold on. What if I just like do very... Nope. Okay. That was the worst attempt yet. We're doing fantastic. Okay. Actually, I should move that because that's over the live thing. Hold on. Move this like... Actually, no, let's move it right there. That's probably better, right? Better. Way better. Okay. Next. Cool. So I need to, like... I'm trying to think of the right way. I gotta approach this a very specific way. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. But I didn't get it. Okay, okay. Which means I get another attempt. Do I count that as an attempt? I guess I do. Well, I had to get... Damn it, I didn't want to... No, we're not doing that. That is a failed attempt. You know what? That is a failed attempt. As far as I'm concerned. Because unless I get the item, I'm not continuing. Okay, next. Whatever. Okay, so that was the right idea. It was definitely the right idea to do a shorter jump. I have to, like... do, like... Okay, okay. Got it. Got it. An iron arrow and... Well, 48 iron arrows. That's a fair amount of... That's a good amount of iron arrows. I mean... You know... That's a lot. And a bright bug. A bright bug, by the way, is... Where are you? There he is. Inflict more damage, receive less. Tiny bug that produces light. Bright bugs are said to comfort the dead and are found in the marshlands leading to the Undead Crypt. By ingesting a bright bug just before death, the moment at which they glow most brightly, one attains great power for a short time, often utilized as a last resort for adventurers who have lost their way. Has no effect in other worlds or for phantoms. Okay, now we can do this. So, 6 attempts, not too bad. That's better than what it sometimes is, to be fair. Actually, I can always, I'm gonna shoot. Okay, no, get the fuck away, get the fuck away, get the fuck away. Skeptic specifies things I don't need. Okay, cool. Awesome. Fantastic. I could jump on the little mushroom. The little mushaboom here. So that I can safely get down here. And that's a big ol' basilisk, isn't it? Oh, that's a lot of petrification, too. That's a lot of petrification. Yeah, I know I'm poisoned. I know I'm poisoned. Now, the good thing is I don't need to get the item on that thing anymore. I can make a much safer jump. Like a much easier jump now. So I'm not going to count those, like, attempts, because I should be able to get it first try this time. Because I can just go for the biggest center mass. You know what we're going to do, though? I'm going to go back to the sure thing. Because that is a big old basilisk. So we're also going to pop one of these. You'll notice I eat life gems like candy. Because I definitely prefer to not have to waste, any, especially at this point, since I don't really have that many uses of my Estus Flash Shard yet. And who knows when I will ever find more. You know. Okay, can you please? Not saying anything. one saw anything. First try. Look at that. Can you believe that? First try. Of course you can, because I'm awesome, that's why. I have tons of iron arrows, so I can totally do some sniping. Get rid of some of these butterflies. Because that's going to make things a lot easier. Yeah, so let's deal with you first. Damn it, he dropped something. Don't care, don't need it. You know what? I can just snipe him from here. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a while. Wait a minute, if I can target him... Please tell me that doesn't reach me. Okay, we're cool. We're going to go fire orb on this one. I do also have great combustion. I should use that. At some point I'm going to have to use more attunement. Because there is a soft cap on how much you can get from adaptability. When you're going to be getting very, very little agility from adaptability anymore. But attunement still has... You'll be getting more agility from attunement than from adaptability. There we go. See? No problem. No problem. Everything's fine. What did you drop? Old ironclad helm. Something I don't want or need. Some friggin' moths. What do we get? Torch. Torch. I got a torch. Drakekeeper's Ultra Greatsword. Well, that's different. I believe you usually get a Homeward Bone in here. Oh, never mind. You don't need the Homeward Bone. Usually anytime they're going to trap you in an area, they'll give you a guaranteed Homeward Bone, just so you can get out. But since it's random, obviously. Wrath of the Gods! The Shockwave staggering nearby foes give damage. Little is known about the origins of this miracle, except its shared roots with the Force spell, which is a pretty standard spell I don't have. It makes mention of certain gods, but alas, their actual names are long forgotten. Cool. Don't give up. The Undead Refuge is another place where a lot of undead were just kind of... Well, it's another of the places where undead were kind of corralled for... Did I say this wasn't an illusory wall? Because it was. It was just one that you can only hit from one side. There we go. I'm just gonna jump. Deal with these assholes. Whereas the Bastille was basically where they were being just locked up, out of sight, out of mind. The Refuge is different in a way. Very different, actually. We'll find out why soon, yes. It's kind of messed up, not gonna lie. But yes, it does have some similarities to the Bastille in that sense. This is a place where the undead were just being sent off. But here they could roam free, kind of. But obviously there were still the gibbets that, you know... Usually whenever you see just gibbets hanging around, it's not necessarily a nice place to be. Also to keep an eye out, just because there are going to be moths here as well that we would rather not deal with, because I don't like getting poisoned. I don't know about you, but I prefer not to be poisoned. Hi, friend. Targus Helm and the Farum Helm? Wait a minute. Alright, let's get all this stuff. Take a look. The Farum Helm, the box art helm. That's kind of awesome. The mighty Lion Knights, worshippers of the war god Farum, or Faram? I don't know. Wore heavy armor and were feared for their nimble two-handed swordplay. Their legacy was cut short with the fall of Ferosa. Ferosa is another place we hear about. Oh, the Royal Swordsman Helm. I like that one. That one's nice. The Elite Knight was the one I bought, so I became that. Bellkeeper's Helmet. It can be a little Dalman. Lucatiel's Helmet. Lydia Black Hood. Lydia Witches. Lydia Apostles worship Galib, god of disease, who once resided in the Undead Crypt beside Finito. Finito. This game kind of introduced because there were different, like the Witch of Izalith had the witches. The Light Soul had, that was the life soul. The Dark Soul had the pygmies and humans, ultimately, who were born from the Dark Soul. Basically, the furtive pygmy gave out shards of the Dark Soul to people, and that's what made people. Gwyn took the Light Soul and made the gods by passing those out. Nito didn't really have any other than some skeletons that weren't actually undead. They were just animated skeletons. So, like, they do give souls when you kill them, although initially they weren't supposed to. It's just they realized that they can't have you fighting all these enemies and get nothing for it. So they, as a gameplay convention, they had them drop souls so that you could, get something for killing skeletons. But initially they didn't want them to, because the whole point is they don't have souls. They're just animated skeletons. Because Nito has the death soul, the soul of final death. And that's essentially... but in this one, it introduces an idea that he did have people of his own, the Finito and the Mil Finito, I believe they're called. Basically just wardens of the crypts who make sure that the dead stay resting and are allowed to keep resting, that no one disturbs them. Imprisoned Hollows, the Royal Swordman Helm. I always kind of dug this helm. It kind of looks neat. Ironclad Helm, that's the Turtle Knights. They're called Ironclad Soldiers. I call them Turtle Knights. This one is all like... That was neat. Kind of Centurion look. But we're going to keep Vangarl's Helm because it looks cool. Did I get Drang Lake gloves? I did. Traditional Drang Lake gauntlets belong to Captain Drummond. Drummond's ancestors have served Drang Lake for generations, principally as defenders of the great fort, but Captain Drummond is the last of his proud line. It's a little heavier. It seems like it's the best armor I have for handpieces other than the Sanctum Soldier gauntlets. Which, hold on, that's lighter, and it has... Okay, no, it doesn't have better armor, it's lighter. Improve effects of poison weapons. These gauntlets are corroded by the poison of the Slumbering Dragon, making it difficult to discern their original shape. The Slumbering Dragon is one of the DLC bosses we'll be getting into. Probably the first one we'll be doing, the Sunken King, which was the first released. We'll probably do them in order, since the keys should still be found pretty easily. It's fine. Hey, bud. How you doing? Gotta be careful because there are moths in the trees at places. Dark Spirit Forlorn. This is an invader we're going to be dealing with a little bit. He takes damage like a chump with this weapon, damn. I would also like to not be poisoned, please. We'll be dealing with a couple Forlorns. Once we beat them all, we get something. Although it's not going to be what it usually is in this case, because of the randomizer. And we'll learn more about the... Well, we would be learning more about the Forlorn if we got the guaranteed drops. Oh, could have got a backstab on him if he'd stayed still for just a little longer. So that's a whole thing about the Forlorn. Got a human effigy, though. God damn it. Hold on. Do I have anything to cure poison? Cures poison. That shouldn't have used that. That's a good healing item. Although arguably not a great healing item because of the fact that it takes so long to use. But whatever, it's fine. Don't get poisoned again. Right after. Another high poison enemy. Isn't that great? Just pop one. Soul of Lana, Squalid Queen. The soul of Lana, the Squalid Queen, who rests beside the slumbering dragon of the Eternal Sanctum. This is another Sunken King. This child of dark accompanies the dragon, slowly amassing souls in anticipation for the coming day of vengeance. The wondrous soul is of this augur of wrath, can be used to acquire numerous souls or to create something of great worth. Who gives me something for the soul of Alana? So she is somewhat, again, a lot of this is going to be out of order. The soul of Alana, so there are 3 queens, maybe 4 queens. 3 queens that we know of that each served one of the kings. The Iron King, the Sunken King, and the Ivory King. And each was basically an agent of the dark, with a capital D, trying to basically corrupt them into... Seemingly, I guess they were trying to stop the lighting of the flame. They were trying to corrupt these kingdoms into falling so that there wouldn't be able to be someone to light the fire. The Soul of Alana, its artifacts for the Wrathful Axe. That boss fight is bullshit, by the way, but we're gonna have to do it. It's Petrified Dragonbone, which I think is a lot of boss stuff. Oh, is Petrified Dragonbone only up to +5? Hold up. Let me double check this. Because this uses Petrified Dragonbone. Drakeblood Greatsword. Does Sonic up to +5? No, it can go regular +10. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. It's reinforced with Titanite. Wait a minute. I thought this was using Petrified Dragonbone. Maybe not. Am I an idiot? Reinforced with Titanite. Oh. It infused with Dark or Chaos. Oh, if infused with Dark or Chaos, both magic and lightning damage will scale with Intelligence and Faith respectively. Alright. Oh, it has magic and lightning. That's why it was dealing so much damage to the gargoyles. I saw the magic before, I didn't realize that also had the lightning. Was I not using Petrified Dragonbone on this? Oh, and it's not even a DLC item. This is the Drakeblood Knights. Okay, this is for the Archdragon Peak, which is still a late game item. Oh, look, there's some people in there. Let's go see. Let's go say hi. Okay, so I don't have perfect encyclopedic knowledge. I remember things. Soul of Nadalia, Bride of Ash. That's another soul, which I can use. Hold on. Let's go back to my There we go. Take care of that problem. I also do have this. 38? Yeah, this one's gonna be a little while before I use this one. This one's lighter and it does more damage. I mean, granted, it's +1, but still. Why would I ever want that one? So we can just go up here to go inside that little thingy. Hold on, what the heck was it? No, it wasn't the Sun Sword. I was using Petrified Dragon Bone on something. Wasn't that? Because I had a whole bunch of... Hey, friend. You just running? Just running around? The Lion Clan shield. Okay, what is this? Ah, there it is. Shield used by the Lion Clan warriors, made of wood but reinforced with metal. Light yet sturdy. It's a 90 shield. It's pretty good. The design of the shield appears to have some religious significance, but we will never know what sort of gods these warriors answer to. Why not? So yeah, it's a 90. If you're not going to go for the heavier stuff with 100% weapons, 90s are good. The leather shield you can get usually in Forest of Fallen Giants is a really fantastic shield. Hey, guy. Ah, I was hoping to backstab on him. So shields that are metal like this, chests that are metal, you can't break. So you can, there's the regular Chloranthy ring, which I don't need because I have the better one. Large Titanite shard. Let's see what's in here. We're also going to need the key to get someone out of jail here. Dried root. But that's going to be a little further up. So we still haven't quite answered, what is this place? Why is this place here? What are they doing with Undead here? Well, we'll see. I mean, granted, everyone at this point here is Undead. I mean, this place, like everyone else, has been... Oh, that guy's kind of hiding, like he's ambushing someone. Titanite slab. Okay, we can... How many slabs do we have right now? How many weapons can we just get to, like, max level? Because slabs are generally what you use to, for the final upgrade of almost everything that uses Titanite. Its materials are over here. We have 5. We can upgrade 5 weapons completely. 100%. That's already. We haven't even gotten one close to that yet. I love randomizers. There's a little ambush guy. Oh, there's the... There it is. He's not gonna do it. He's gonna wait till I pull this. But I have... Get over here, asshole. Are you gonna go down the regular way instead of drop? Okay. I mean, that's fine. You can do that. Monastery headcloth, and now we can open this. That will let down the bridge. Didn't want to do that. There's a guy. So now we can see some people. We see people kind of waiting in the trees with weapons and bows. They have dogs with them. So what's the deal with the Undead Refuge? Well, you might almost say this is kind of an animal sanctuary for undead. except for one very important distinction. It's not really an animal sanctuary so much as it's where a hunting club keeps animals to hunt. Essentially, one of the things that happened, and this wasn't Vendrick necessarily. This is the we're gonna meet them as a boss. The lords of this particular area, everyone's basically being told undead are a problem. Ship them off to the undead, the Bastille, or if you have a way to imprison them and just keep them out of everyone's way. Again, out of sight, out of mind. And the lords of this the governors of this particular region, said, "Oh yeah, totally, we'll take care of that. Already have an idea. Got a place perfect for it." And they basically shipped their undead over here, where they would hunt them for sport. That was their solution. And look how it turned out for them. Everything worked out in the end. They totally didn't and becoming undead themselves when they when society broke down and they really couldn't. The number of undead just got past what they were able to handle. But they figured, well, these people are like mindless zombies. Hunting them is not that big. They have no idea what's going on. They're just zombies. Although then again, when you think about it, we're 100% sure that all these people are completely out of it. The Undead Lockway Key, that's what I need for... It's a good thing I do have... At first I was like, maybe I should have randomized the key items, because... I don't know, like, it would make me, like, actually have to, like, think more about which places I'm going first. It would force me to go in different places, but it would be a nightmare trying to, like, figure out where all these key items are. So it's probably good that I didn't do that. Just saying. Alright, let's let a friend out. I don't mean to bash over the head some of the things that are more inferred, but at the same time, because I'm not going to be getting a lot of the souls of bosses or items that I know have stuff in their descriptions. That's usually how you'd figure it out. You'd read the descriptions of items that you find, like, oh, I found the Black Knight Great Axe. Great Axe, wielded by knights who served the Lord of Light in a long forgotten age. Even if the flesh was charred by flame, they remained as strong as ever, and stood watch challenging visitors to their land. The Lord of Light, who is that? Gwen, obviously. So it's his Silver Knights who were with him at the very end, and ended up, when he burned the flame, they became charred as a result. By a foreign warrior, holding both hands, exquisite crafting of the blade, deadly precision. And, spells, obviously, and this one is replica of the halberd of loyal Saint Cyan, a meticulously crafted, distinguished weapon. Sir Cyan is widely known as the kingdom's most loyal knight, and when the giants invaded, he volunteered to lead the advance party, but was slaughtered most dishonorably. The king commissioned replicas of Cyan's accoutrements and bestowed them to promising knights, but not long after they donned the armor did they go thoroughly mad. So yeah, I don't mean to give away some of the things that could be inferred but just by me reading this stuff, but I don't know when I'm going to be reading this stuff. I'm not going to be reading it in order, certainly. And certain inferred things, I don't know, I'm also kind of sometimes afraid that people won't get it, because some of the stuff, again, if I'm not reading these things in order as I find them, in the proper order you're supposed to find them, stuff is going to get kind of lost. So I'm going to try to, like, go through the narrative of Dark Souls 2 as best I can without some of the item descriptions to back up what I'm saying. But we'll get them eventually, hopefully. So here's a friend, Creighton. And this is why I said I'm going to be making some inferences here based on, depending on what he says this time we see him.
Who are you? I thought you were that bastard for a moment. You've set me free. Now I can find the cheeky prick. He won't know what hit him. I am Creighton of Mirror. I travel from land to land to hone my blade. I've heard this land was full of danger. I thought it would suit me perfectly. I joined forces with a man on the way. He was no more than a backstabbing knave. He took the first chance he had to try and off me. I decided to set a trap for before. He kills entirely for the pleasure of it. I'm sure I won't be his last victim. The man's better off dead. Tell ya, he's a slick talker. So don't let him fool ya.
So he missed one piece there. Well, he mentioned a ring. So Creighton the Wanderer. I think I got this, yeah. So he says, Creighton of Mira, he took the first chance he had. He wears a rather unusual ring. You'll know it when you see it. And he did say, if we remember what Pate originally said, Pate. He had mentioned I still have the gent's ring. I hope he wasn't harmed. So the question is Pate the one he's talking about? Because Pate does claim the ring he has was from someone that went in before him. Or was that all talk? Did Pate wrong him by leading him into that trap with the door closing? Because he warned us about it. He said, you could go in there, there might be treasure, but the door locks after you go in, so I ain't going in. So the question is, was Pate just assuming we would still try to do it? Was he... There's a whole whodunit, he said, she said, the more we talk to these two, trying to figure out who's who in this situation. Who's actually the one in the wrong, or are either of them wrong? Do both of them have the wrong... Like, are both of them only seeing part of the story and neither of them actually know? Like, they could both completely be off base and both of them are innocent. They could just be a complete misunderstanding. We don't know. I believe we're going to meet... I know we're going to meet Pate again pretty soon. We'll be able to talk to him a little bit more. In Earthen Peak, we'll be able to see him... once we get to the lighthouse. He might still be... I'm actually curious if he's still at where he was before. I doubt it. I think he's probably moved on, especially since we've already... Now that we've started on this path toward Earthen Peak, he might have already relocated to where he's going to be. But I'm curious if we can get a little information from him on the subject. Cardinal Tower. Let's see. I'm just indulging some curiosity here. This uses a lot of stamina. Common fruit. See he over there? He is not. Okay. So we'll have to wait till we see him in Earthen Peak to get his side of the story with this this Creighton fellow who mentioned him by name. And he did say, if you remember, what Creighton said specifically is that he's from Mira. And Mira is the same place that Lucatiel's from. Crap, we're not going to get his armor. Or at least, I doubt we're going to get it at the time we're supposed to. But let's head back over to the Undead Lockaway. Still some items we can get in this particular region. So, Creighton of Mira. Yeah, I could have waited till we... I couldn't quite remember if he specifically mentions Pate by name that first time. Because, yeah, I don't mean to try to be beating people over the head with what's going on instead of letting you infer it, but at the same time, I guess that's why you would watch. Well, really, the reason why you're watching a randomizer is to see me suffer through the randomizer. It's more to see what weird crap we find in places the way you shouldn't be finding it. But at the same time, I kind of said straight up in the beginning, I'm going to be talking a lot about lore. So this is kind of becoming a lore through. Although I'm not a Vati, I'm not a Plague. I don't have all the answers necessarily. A lot of my information is actually coming from people like Vati and Plague. Oh, I think there's a Necromancer in here who will keep raising them. Unless you destroy them with a holy weapon, they will keep getting raised. Unless you kill the Necromancer who's raising them. But yes, there are certain holy... God damn it. Well, that's something we're going to be dealing with later. See that, that pot? Hear that laughter? We heard that before. Just as we were entering the cave. That's a pot that laughs at you. And if you get too close, it curses you, as if you had been killed and turned partly undead again. Like if you go hollow from dying, you know, your max HP drops. Even if you're still alive, you can get cursed by that and start losing max HP. And then you'll have to use, you know, the normal. Hi, friend. Can I hit you through this? I can't hit you through this. Oh. Don't give up, skeleton. This is some Dark Souls part of me that just is tickled by the don't give up skeletons. All over the place. I'm an idiot. I wasn't even thinking. I was not even paying attention. I was looking at chat instead of the screen. That's fine. It's fine. Just gonna run over, grab that. Gonna clear some stuff out before jumping into the boss. The boss is one of those things. It's one of my favorite kinds of bosses. You know, let's get some quotes. Let's get some quotes. Quote number 1. Kamikaze enemies that are bullshit are the best enemies in any kind of video game. Quote, Teague, Black Belt Boar, 2023. Next quote. I love bosses whose entire thing is that they just send out ads the entire fight, and it's all ads. Teague, 2023. Any other hot takes? Okay, I need to... Sweeping. There we go. That didn't even kill either of them. Okay, well, I'll kill that one. Stone Twin Blade. Xanthus Overcoat. Wait, didn't I already get one of those? Maybe not. The blindingly bright yellow costume is said to have been worn by the Xanthus King. Despite the costumes being in near tatters, its yellow hues are mysteriously unfaded. That is a character who I believe, at least Dark Souls 1, maybe Demon Souls, I can't remember if he was in that. But it's a guy with a weird, looks almost like a mask, helmet, crown that looks like a giant like chef's hat that he wears on his head. Or in Dark Souls 1 it looked like a spoon. It was weird. Assassins often hired as bodyguards. In an attempt to stave off the curse, King Vendrick hired Shadowmen to put down the Hollows, but before long they were hollow themselves. That's the beak-helmed assassins that we keep seeing. So basically they were just assassins hired by Vendrick to start taking down undead. But as is often the case, they just hollowed out themselves over time. Don't Give Up Friend doesn't have quite the same ring to it that Don't Give Up Skeleton has. Ow, asshole. We're going to be dealing with these little sorcerers quite a bit, unfortunately. Especially the further we get. There's a summon I think I can use for this fight, which I might, but yeah, this is going to be an ad fight. Just keep summoning enemies over and over and over and over, that's all you're going to do. More skeletons, more skeletons, more skeletons. Because again, I love boss fights that are just that. Just like I love kamikaze enemies. That's a quote. Okay, almost dead there. That's a magic pixel of health, if I ever saw one. There's another jump I'm gonna have to make. Don't I just love that? You know what? There's another quote. There's another hot take. I think that platforming in Dark Souls games is just fine. I love platforming in Dark Souls games. Teague, 2023. Lloyd's Talisman. So Lloyd's Talismans have two purposes. One of them, which says straight on it, is it prevents... where is it? Oh, rusted coin. That's just increases item drop chance. The coin is engraved with the image of a god that was worshipped in ancient times, but no one knows its true origin. That's right. A tiny charm embedded with imitative magic, used to transform into something to blend in. Use this talisman to hide from invaders. Only provides the most superficial camouflage, but sometimes that is enough to do the trick. I might use that. I mean, not that I'm going to get... I highly doubt I'm going to get invaded, especially since I'm mainly... Oh, I have another small bone dust. Awesome. I have Lloyd's Talismans, don't I? Should have plenty. There we go. The talisman used by Cleric Knights. Blocks Estus recovery within a limited area. So if you get invaded, or you're invading, you can keep your opponent from being able to use Estus to heal. It is said that the Cleric Knights use these talismans to hunt down accursed undead. Cleric Knights fight with pride, and by blocking the recovery of the undead, they can also fight with impunity. The other thing it can do, which is somewhat important, is if you believe if you throw it at a chest that is a mimic, it puts the mimic to sleep, so it can't kill you. Which, you know, kind of important. It's a way, basically, if you don't feel like fighting the mimic, you can just... Well, that was fun. But I have a shortcut. But anyway, so yes, you can basically put a mimic to sleep and get the item inside it without having to fight it. We haven't really seen any mimics, although there are a couple that I know of that are coming up that we will have to deal with. But I have 10 Lloyd's Talismans, so I think we're fine. Although I'll probably fight one. Again, show off everything I can. Which is the other reason I might do the Dark quest line, although I'm going to have to actually... Oh god, wait a minute. Do you need the ring? You need the ring! So even if I have the intelligence to talk to the dude, I'm going to have to... And join the Covenant, I'm going to have to first get the ring somewhere. And I have no idea where that is. Well, that's a problem. Well, you know what? If I find the ring, I will do the quest line. Why not? But I just realized, oh, wait a minute. I can't even do that unless I get the ring. We'll figure it out. As with all things, we can figure it out. I'm taking a lot of stupid damage, is what I refer to it as. I do that a lot. That is one thing you'll hear me refer to quite a bit, just because it's how I talk with things like this. I refer to stupid damage, which I often take. And that's damage that you had no business taking. Like, there's no reason I should have gotten hit by that. I just wasn't thinking. I wasn't paying attention. I was rushing. I got greedy. That kind of stuff. That is what I refer to as stupid damage. And in a lot of cases with Dark Souls games, Dark Souls is a challenging game. I wouldn't even say it's hard, it's challenging. Um, but it's also one of the most fair games. Maybe not as much Dark Souls 3 and Dark Leggings, Alon Night Leggings, and Boltstone. Okay. Oh, there's a crystal lizard we didn't get in Forest of Fallen Giants. Because I tried to and he ran away. So we can go get him. Usually they just have high level, like rare upgrade materials. Cyan's Halberd, another one of those. Like the Twinkling Titanite or Petrified Dragon Bone, stuff like that. But in this instance, they'll have possibly anything. I don't know why, I just feel like lighting that. 'Cause that might make it a little easier to do the jump, maybe? Okay. 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 Gonna do this first try. Yeah. Monastic Charm, Black Fire Bomb, 3 Black Fire Bombs, and a large Titanite shard. I am gonna need a large Titanite. This is true, so that's fine. I'm okay with that. And Black Fire Bombs are just a much stronger version of the Fire Bomb. They're actually super good. They do lots of damage. Alright, boss time. I might want to switch over to the better weapon here. Not that one. That one. And we're going to want to summon for this for sure. Just to help deal with the ads. Why did I do that? Oh, am I already human? I'm already human. Wait, am I? No, I died. Didn't I? Oh, apparently I'm human. Well, there should be a summon then. Huh. I thought we had, unless it's further back, maybe they changed where it is. Although no, I didn't see it on the way up here. Let me backtrack just a little bit. Because I got killed by those skeletons. I must have just re-upped. That's one easy way to tell. Yeah, my face is human. So, isn't there a summon for this? Am I crazy? So I'd like to actually not have to go in completely alone. Hi, friend. One moment. Yeah, Creighton. It's in the skeleton caves near the gate or lever. Oh! Okay, so yeah, it was... I was right. Did I not pick that up? Apparently I did not pick that up. Well, I will go do that now. It's near the lever where I opened up that gate. For some reason I thought it was on the stairs on the way up. Again, that might be a vanilla Dark Souls 2 thing. Another fire seed, I can start upgrading my the hand. That's kind of cool. I don't see his summon sign. Did I not expend all his dialogue? Ooh, there's stuff in here. Oh, god damn it. No, you don't. Ring of Steel Protection 2. That's kind of cool. Get some extra... Is Creighton still here? He's still here. No, he's not. Yes, he is.
Hate, and don't you believe a word in? I'll find a common for bad. Hate, the man with a straight drink.
Okay, so maybe now he'll have the thing. Let's burn. Can I I can't burn that here. Okay, that's fine. That's something else you can do with the human effigies. If you burn them, you can just block temporarily invaders. I have so many, I might as well. I figured I might as well do that. And you can also nullify it if you do want invasions. Kind of want to see Great Combustion has 6 uses. Yeah, sure. We'll go with big one. And we'll kind of keep that for just general use, I guess. Or we could just do Combustion, Fire Orb, Fireball. I guess we could have 2 Fireballs instead of Fire Orb. Have just way more Fireballs. Yeah, why the hell not? Now we have 16 uses. And then we'll have Great Combustion. It won't do a whole lot, but it'll be a lot of ranged attacks. I'm fine with that. Why the hell not? Let's clear this place out. Old Knight Gauntlets, we don't want those. Those are basically the knights from Hate's Tower of Flame, so they're big and heavy and bulky. Don't necessarily want all that weight. Yeah, this weapon, even the Zweihander does a ton of damage and it has a big sweep, but I mean this weapon, upgraded as it is just so much. There he is. I just had to, yeah, I had to finish his dialogue and get his gesture. Come on, Creighton, let's go kick some ass. When it comes to it in this game, when you actually have to kind of choose a side, I always choose Creighton. Even though technically, if you don't side with Creighton and kill him, you can get all of his stuff, but that's fine. Blue Flame. Hold on. The Stone Twin Blade of the Castle Stone Soldiers. Sir Velstadt could always be found at the king's side, and followed him when he fled. The knights at his service patiently waited for his return and turned to stone before he did. Turned to stone before he came back, meaning, not before he turned to stone. So Twin Blades, and I can use this, actually. Let's see if I can get all the weapon move sets here. Really, they're mostly done two-handed for obviously reason. Again. What's the scaling on this? B and D, not great. Looks cool. Probably way too heavy for what it should be, but oh, they're not that heavy. It's what, 10? That is kind of heavy. But for a weapon meant to be used two-handed, it's not bad. But yeah, I always side with Creighton just because I trust him more than I trust Pate in the end. But you can make your own decisions. And when it comes to it, maybe I'll let the viewers decide who they think is right. So these are the governors, the lords of this area, who are the ones who basically decided that they were going to hunt the undead for sport. And that was just going to be their way of dealing with the undead. I shouldn't have killed all 3 at once, I realize. That was stupid of me. Because now we get all the wheel skeletons. Oh god! That was a dumb idea. Every time you kill one, they summon ads. that come out of their like soul body kind of thing. So I should not have killed all three at once. That was stupid of me. But at least we're taking them down fairly well. If we can get rid of the wheel skeleton, I think we're good. So we should be able to cleave through the rest. Where's the wheel skeleton? The wheel skeleton's the real threat here. There he is. If he does his whole rolling ability, like Sonic, he can just end you. He can stun lock you in place as he's rolling into you, and just keep rolling and doing more damage. Wheel skeletons are some of the most terrifying enemies in Dark Souls, just because, yeah, if they really lay into you, you're screwed. There's nothing you can do. Hot take: wheel skeletons are the best enemy in Dark Souls. Okay, you know what? This went way better thanks to Creighton and my weapon. The Drakeblood Greatsword it's putting in the work. Thank you, Creighton. Another thing where I get nothing for it. So yes, they were the lords that decided to turn this place into their own personal hunting grounds for funsies. Because, you know, what could be more fun than hunting? You know, if you can't hunt humans for sport legally, it's the next best thing is to hunt undead who look like humans and once were humans. Then you can hunt kind of the most dangerous game. I guess it actually is the most dangerous game since it killed them in the end. So there is also the Colosseum. I don't know if we can see it from here. Which has an optional boss, which we are going to fight. Because it's not a great fight, but it is very interesting. I'm just going to grab the... I'm going to grab the bonfire real quick. Didn't miss it. Just want to make sure I didn't miss it. More skeletons. Don't give up. You're doing good, fellas. There we go. So let's run back to Undead Lockaway, Bridge Approach. This might be the easiest way. I gotta remember which of the two is the easiest to get to the Colosseum. The Colosseum is kind of where, well, the Skeleton Lords, the soul of the Skeleton Lords, I don't know if it specifically says what they did. Oh wait, I can just look right here. So I can read a couple things. Skeleton Lord's soul. The soul of a skeleton lord who reigned from deep within the Huntsman's Copse. That's what this area is, the Huntsman's Copse. Past the Undead Refuge was actually, I'm thinking about, that's the particular bonfire we were at. But this is the Huntsman's Copse, which tells you exactly what it is. This is, the old Iron King commanded the capture of all undead, but those charged with the task were overcome by the curse. Use the special soul of the skeleton lord to acquire better. So this is the general area of the old. There were four kings. There was Vendrick, the Iron King, the Ivory King, and the Sunken King. So this is technically within the territory of the Iron King. He basically ordered, the destruction of all the undead, get rid of them, and the people working for him, the skeleton lords, who basically said, "Yeah, sure, totally, taken care of. Don't worry about it." And instead, they decided to make this place their own personal hunting grounds for fun. So not the best people, necessarily. But they ended up being overcome by the curse themselves. And Thief Dagger. We're going to be seeing more of their handiwork and the funsies they had in the Colosseum. Because, oh boy, did they love being weird creepers. Although technically you could argue what the Colosseum jail area was not necessarily all for fun, but it was definitely, they probably enjoyed it. But it was also just, they really didn't like Undead. Hey, what if we have a place where we can just torture them forever, since we know they keep coming back to life? The Mastodon Helm? We can be Elefante? What do we got? We got... Oh, sorry, Targe's Helm, the guy we killed from the Knights of Blue, and got, like, nothing for him. We didn't get, like, any of his items. Mastodon Helm. This is what the elephants were. We saw one of them. A helm worn by the Primal Knights of Dragonlight Castle. Its weight would normally crush a man, but the Primal Knights wear it as if it were silk. So fearsome is their brute strength. The king restored a forbidden, long-lost art to create these inhuman abominations. Technically, I would argue it probably wasn't Vendrick himself who did that. That was one of his chief advisors, Eldia, who did a lot of weird experimentation with dragons and other weird chimeric creatures. But he can speak for himself in time. He had reasons. I mean, all of the experimentation that he and the king were doing were trying to find a way to get rid of the curse. And dragons make sense because the dragons were the original creatures that existed who were eternal and therefore could not be subject to the curse. They never died, in a sense, they almost never lived. They had a weird existence, but they were completely eternal. So if we can find a way to get some of that eternity from and it was the scales that did it. Their scales had magic properties. In Dark Souls 1, we learn of Seath the Scaleless, who turned on his dragonkin. He had no scales, and so he used crystal, essentially. He found a way to experiment with crystal to give himself the same immortality that the dragons had. He had to use this weird magic crystal instead. The Seldora Cap. Cap worn by settlers of Seldora. Rather fancy, but with low defense, and unfit for battle. Seldora flourished with the discovery of Brightstone, deep under the settlement. But with this prosperity came greed in equal measure, and the people were ever in search of that which they lacked. Increase the number of souls acquired, so that's another item you can use for that. Did someone just drop down? Oh, there he is. That's a bleed weapon. So yeah. So they found crystal, Brightstone, and were using it. It's also very expensive, but they were using it for some experiments too. Guess which soul he got? The Duke of Seldora. He technically got Seath's, although technically Seath as a dragon didn't have a soul. The soul that... Like I was saying, the soul that Seath gets, the soul that you get from Seath in Dark Souls 1 is actually a part of Gwyn's soul that was gifted to him for helping them with the dragons. For being the best traitor. Like, you treasoned so good. You were such a good betrayer. No one betrayed better than you. So here's a part of my soul. And so I guess the implication that, as far as like I said, the personalities of the souls kind of impart themselves on the bearers of this era that have those souls. So the Witch of Izalith, the Lost Sinner, had these weird urges to try to relight the first flame themselves, or make it their own first flame, and screwed up just like the witch did, except this time with even weaker results. The Duke of Seldora got the part of Gwyn's soul that was given to Seath, but seemingly part of Seath's personality kind of rubbed off on that soul, so that it kind of was his soul by the end. Like, he imprinted something of himself in it. That the Duke started to have similar aspirations to Seath as far as experimentation with crystal. And so the bright stone that was found under Seldora was perfect for maybe That may have been the trigger that he needed to realize, like, for those Seath-like ideas to come to pass. Like, it was once they found the crystal that he was, like, the Seath part of that soul really kind of came out. Because that is also a complaint, is that why Seath didn't have a soul. How could the Duke of Zoldur have gotten his? It was part of Gwyn's soul. But my argument there is that something of his personality and his being imprinted on that soul that he had from Gwyn. Like, yes, it wasn't actually a proper soul of his own, but you know, if you're in possession of it long enough, and if you have strong enough, like, personality and will, which Seath certainly had, I mean, he was willing to betray his own kind, and help, you know, change the way things were. I would say he had a strong enough will and personality that he was able to, yeah, put something of himself into... Hi. Yeah, to put something of himself into that shard of soul so that it became his, in a sense. And... yeah, I should have been paying more attention. But I didn't. There's an item over there, but I don't really care enough. Hi, friend. Hey! Guess what? I don't care. We're just going in. So, they really didn't like undead around here. Not only did they hunt them for sport, but they would throw them in here. And, this thing would just run around and torture them forever. Just keep breaking them apart. They'd come back together, break them apart again. So we need to get the hell in here. Because here he come. Yeah, we need to find the Necromancer and kill him, by the way. So let's go do that. Let's go find a Necromancer and take him out. I could potentially just try to find a weapon that can permanently kill them. There's one. There we go. There might be another one. Nope, I think that's it. Because the souls of the skeletons are starting to come to me. I don't think I got a soul from him, meaning there is one more. Jesus! Help me, baby Jesus. By the way, you will be one-shot by that thing if it hits you. Alright. Should be one more Necromancer somewhere. Oh, is there not? Usually the Silence will start giving souls if the Necromancers are all dead. Oh, there he is. Now we got them all. Now we can deal with him. Make him. Now, here's the thing. The skeleton on top that was running the chariot, that's not the undead chariot. The chariot and the horses, that's the executioner's chariot. The soul is in them, not in the skeleton, because the skeleton was a skeleton. Again, just an animated corpse. Animated bones. These with the Executioner. Ow. This is one of those fights that, yeah, it's all ads, but at least it has that uniqueness of you have to basically fight your way to the run your way to the end. Take out the ad spawners as in the Necromancers, and then close the gate to make the chariot crash so you can fight the boss properly. Like that, I don't mind. That's a cool fight. I love this fight. Smooth Silky Stone, Void Talismans, Twinkling Titanite. Alright, now we can collect everything. But yeah, this is the kind of ad fight I don't mind because there's a purpose to it. Now, how is it making a full circuit? It's a ghost horse, who cares? Let me go back and get all the other stuff I missed. So yeah, this is just a place where they would throw undead in here and just watch them get killed over and over. Gotta love scythe chariots. No, he's still over there. Black Knight Great Axe, which I already have, and I don't want in the first place. Hey fella. Hey friend. How you doing? Hey friend. Okay, well that was dumb of me. You know what? I'm gonna burn you up, actually. You're gonna be slow as shit, so... I didn't do that. I didn't. I can do this all day. Kind of. Oh, come on. Stop with that. Stop with the shield. Okay, not fine. If you're not gonna play, I'm gonna go. If you're just gonna keep holding your shield up, then screw you. As long as he's not chasing me. Well, hello, friend.
What is it? Ah, you trot along now. This place won't be any fun. Not for you. What is it?
I believe I have to have killed someone, either an invader, like a player. I basically have to have killed another player in order for him to have anything to say to me. So now that we've done that, we can go straight to the Harvest Valley. We'll be able to see Lucatiel again. Our next meeting with Lucatiel. Although this probably might be a decent place to cut it. We'll go a little further.
Are you a traveller? I'm Chloanne, an ore-stone trader. I travel about collecting rare stones, which I sell to make my living. I never planned to visit this god's-forsaken place, but I don't know. I just sort of ended up here. I must have just wandered in. But now that I'm here, I've been scouting around for rare bits. Oh, don't look at me like that. Many of these stones are quite useful. For instance, certain stones are used...
She's going to be my main repository for a lot of, not repository. Repository? She's going to be my main merchant to buy a lot of my upgrade materials.
This is my trade, after
Yes. Titanite shards. She's got 10 of those. We're going to buy a crap ton of that. You know what? Buy all 10. And she'll get more as we go.
me again.
Let's talk to her a little bit.
I'll provide whatever service you need. I came here in search of rare. The place is nothing like I was told. All this poison. You can't get very far inside. Don't just go hapless. These stones may look all the same, but to the trained eye, each is unique.
That's a skull. That's a skull, hon. That's not a stone.
Smith weapons and armor. And some unique stones provide special venom. Some of them are extremely rare and should be used with great thrift. None of the differences are easily spotted. But I've learned quite a lot, really. Drang Lake. How is it that I ended up here? It's funny. I can't seem to remember. I've searched every nook and cranny here. I suppose it's time to move on. Perhaps we'll meet again, if we live that long.
Okay, so now she will be back in our... She'll be back in our little house here. Now that enough people have come back, I wonder if I can talk to our friend Crestfallen. He will have something to say if you've brought enough people to town. She should be right over here. There she is.
Oh, fancy me? Speak up if you need it. These stones made some of them, none of them. You know how they call this place Drang Lake, right? Well, in the old lore, in stories and the like, they said it had another name. What was it? Well, I don't know. It's just something I heard. Since long, long ago, many kingdoms have risen and fallen on this very spot, each like a great flame that turns to soot. Maybe that's why people don't remember much about the past. You see that blacksmith over there? Is he one of those hollows? He seems to keep eyeing me up. He sort of looks like my father. He's a blacksmith too, you see. The poor man's such a worrywart, but he wouldn't follow me out here, would he? I was born in a land to the west, Vulcan, famous for its merchants.
Another name drop of a place.
Bustling cities. But for me, they were suffocating. And so I set out in search. There are dangers for certain, but I much prefer to live this. But for the life of me, I can't remember how I ended up here. It's as if I were drawn to the place, or lured in. Oh, I don't know. These stones may look.
Okay, so
None.
that's also not a stone again. That's a skeletal arm. You're not the brightest bulb in the box, are you? I wonder what he has to say.
Oh, I've given you... How goes your... Take these.
Okay.
Right. You're worse than my reckless daughter. Don't spend your whole life in transit, you hear? You'll need souls to... I know only of smithing. Don't waste your souls on useless trinket. My witless daughter finally came home. Just as oblivious as she's always been. Well, at least now I can keep an eye on her.
So it looks like your father. Wondering where your father is. He's literally right over there.
What?
So basically, at a certain point in the game, we'll have, once you progress past a certain point, they'll all start selling new stuff. So we can do a couple things. We can, before we sign off, for now, talk to you.
I'm glad to see you.
We're going to reinforce the pyromancy flame a couple times. Two times. Basic. Nice.
I'm always here.
How about you? Got anything to say?
Look at our new neighbors. How they fret over all and sundry. Oh, those were better days. Oh, dear me. It really takes me back.
I haven't learned the gesture yet? Okay, there we go.
Do you see the way beyond the bonfire? There was once a great major Madonna. Hade's Tower of in the cathedral. The Apostles of Blug, but the road leading there, the gate is rigged, but how it works.
It's literally a pull switch. You pull and you walk in. It's not that complicated.
Have you seen that pit? I don't know what it's like down below. Besides, you'll never make it.
So there's actually two ways we can get down there. The cat ring, which I will buy now. Although technically I could get the was it Gilligan, the ladder guy. Once you get him, we'll meet him near the that big windmill in the Earthen Peak. He can also make a ladder for you down there, but it's better to go down with the ring because you have a couple more options on the way down that you can get to. That is 100% my cat. That is...
You do have to tap.
I need a ring.
Satisfied? I'll be around if you ever come back.
Alright, so we have what we need to go down there. Just wanted to grab that while I had the chance, and I think we're good. Because we still have 3 of these, 1 of these. I can offer Dragon, okay. Yeah. Okay. First things first, let's eat our souls. And let's level up. And then I can also possibly do some upgrading. There we go. Could upgrade the Zweihander a little bit. No, see it is, yeah. The Drake Blood Greatsword uses Petrified Dragonbone. Oh, was I looking at the... No, I was looking at the Drake... Yeah, Greatsword. This is reinforced with Titanite, so that must be the original, and Skull of the First Sin, maybe? Petrified Dragonbone. Let's see, what else do I want to... I mean, the Cyan Halberd's okay. That's actually okay. Could use a Twin Blade for a little bit. Be weird. Let me see here. Actually, you know what? I know exactly. Yeah, we're gonna upgrade this a little bit. We're gonna upgrade this a little bit. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Yeah. Alright, so we upgraded one. Now we can upgrade. Start upgrading the second one. What do you mean? Oh, I need way more decks, right? Sorry, I would want to use this one. Alright, so I'm gonna need a lot of decks. 30, I think, for those. Yeah. S strength A dex. I mean, come on, man. It's tempting. I could use that. That could be kind of neat. Do a full-blown karate build. We'll think about it. For now, yeah, let's go upgrade this Y-hander just a little bit. I do like this Y-hander. We'll reinforce you. So we got that +5. I would need large Titanite, which I could technically just get a whole bunch of from. I mean, I could also upgrade the Sun Sword. Oh, Blue Flame, yes. Sorry. Straight sword wielded by Lady Apostles, imbued with special magic that makes the blue flame both a sword and magic catalyst. Executing a strong attack to ignite magic, the Lady Apostles adept at magic wielded unique weapons that were hunted down as traitors. This is a weapon that is definitely an intelligence weapon, which means I can't quite use it yet. You know what? I want to go over to Macduff for a second, just a second. Buy some large Titanite. He can also just do in the reinforcement here, so it's... And then I have so many chunks and slabs that I could potentially just upgrade this all the way right now. Depending on how many... Oh, he sells like them indefinitely. Okay, yeah. Okay, now we reinforce. Slab. We now have a fully upgraded Zweihander. Zweihander +10. Cool. We will be seeing how this works later. So I'm going to call it here for now. We'll be back on Wednesday with more of this. Tomorrow I'll be doing probably some roguelikes, possibly. And then maybe a little bit more of this, depending on how early I call it for that one, but we'll see. And then Friday we'll probably do some one-offs, but Wednesday will be more of this. Thursday will be more 14. But yeah, hope you had a good time. I had a great time. This run is becoming very fun. Now that we actually have, you know, things going on. But yeah, I think that's about it for me. I will see you guys next time.